Go.
I'm still waiting for your thumbs up. All right, Doppelaula, Visselhövede, we are back. And may the 4th be with you. It's a day of lots of returns. First of all, I'm returning to the helm. I'm Gunnar Sauermann. That is not really important. And with me is my favorite wingman. Please introduce yourself.
It's Max. Max, I'm not hosting for once this time because Gunnar's back. It's so good to have you back. So I'm just out here and I'm just gonna drink some beers.
Yeah, lazy bugger. We also have Florian from Metality here.
Hello. Nice to see you all again.
He will say more once he has more beer inside. And you may say, well, we had before. I know these girls, but I'm telling you, no, it's a return of the girls, but a brand new band. So please introduce yourselves.
Hey, we are the Gems. Should we just do Mona, Emily? Sure, Emily.
Okay, I'm Emily. I play drums in the Jams.
I'm Mona. I play guitar in the Jams.
And I'm Guernica Mancini, and I sing in the Jams. And Mona also plays the bass. I just want to clarify.
And of course, the woman without this evening wouldn't be possible because she brings the beers. So last but definitely not least is Julia. Please introduce yourself.
I love to listen to music, but I don't play an instrument. I'm the CEO of Kehrwieder. I was on board right from the start. So we were founded 2012. So there are quite some stories to tell.
All right, before we do anything else, and I know everybody's exactly waiting for this moment, we start with our first beer, I would say. Please, Julia, explain something about that beer.
Okay, let's start with the prototype. You can see it on the name. It's called Prototype because it was our first beer. And it was actually the first recipe. And it was so good that, we never changed the name and we never changed the recipe. And this was 12 years ago. It's a very traditional German beer style, like Lager or Helles, but we dry hopped it. And I think this gives it a very special twist. But just try it and...
Go.
Cheers.
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 Prost.
All right, let's start with opinion gathering. And to give the girls 1 second to think about what they're going to say, Max, you're first.
It's very, very pleasant on the tongue, very light, but it's not boring at all. It's like a nice hoppiness to it. Little bit of like citrus, but not too much either. So just like a very, I mean, starting off strong with high shootability, I want to say. It's goes down nicely.
That was a very nice description. That was exactly what we wanted to do with this beer.
I like the taste of this, the hops. What's sorry.
Doesn't matter, Mona.
Okay, should I continue?
No, Mona, you probably had some good stuff to say.
Yeah.
No, I just like the taste of this specific hop. What's the name of the hop you use in this?
It's 4 different ones. It's Perle, Saatzer, Northern Brewer, and Simcoe.
I see it now. Yeah, I like it. Very interesting taste. I like it a lot. I can't point out the different like notes in it, but
I'm like,
I mean, it says on the bottle it has maracuja and lychee, right? So I think that's maybe the kind of like tropical flavor, but it's not like outright lemon or something.
Yeah.
Should I go now?
Yeah.
Yes.
I don't have any technical words for it, but I do like that it's light, but it still has a like a thick flavor. I don't know, like it's like a, I feel like it's a full-bodied flavor, but it's still very easy to drink. So it's like a more interesting lager, I would say. And that's Emily.
Yeah, I agree. Like, it has a lot of flavors for being a lager, I think, and I really love the citrus vibe and the little tropical vibe. It's a summer beer. And I also like to mention, like, I'm drinking from a Stormtrooper glass today because it's the 4th of May. May the 4th be with you all.
Well done. I couldn't agree more with the girls, so I can keep myself short. Usually lagers aren't my favorites because they're usually flat and without taste. Well, this one does have body and character, so well done, I would say.
No need to change the recipe.
No.
No need to. Yeah, you're right.
No, the prototype is really good.
Let's start with the brewery while we're at it. You said 12 years ago you were founded?
Correct.
So why did you found a brewery?
Well, actually, I'm a journalist and photographer, but I found it with a very passionate brewmaster. He is also the head behind the recipes, and we traveled the US and we saw all these beautiful beers, and we thought it's time to bring back the beer variety to Germany, because at that point we only had a few beer styles in Germany. Yeah, that was basically it. And we love beer, of course.
There could hardly be a better reason, I guess, to found a brewery than to love
I think
beer.
that was the main reason.
I think lots of Germans, unless you have been at our beer tasting many times before, would associate the United States not necessarily with good beer. That's because some of the breweries there, like Budweiser, have ruined their reputation. But as we already learned in, I think, at least 2 other sessions, that isn't true. So what was the kind of beers that inspired you actually to say, okay, we want this?
The first beer I always had in the fridge when I was living in Miami was the Sierra Nevada Pale Ale. And there are a lot of more beer styles. And for us, the interesting thing was that most of the beer styles they had were typical European beer styles. I mean, they didn't invented everything new. They were just looking to Europe and found the old beer styles and just brewed them again. And here in Germany, it was mainly like Pils and Weizen, what we had at that time.
And export, and alt,
and export, yeah. But Alt was, yeah, but this was only in Düsseldorf, right? I mean, Alt is one of the best pale ales, you could say, yeah. But for example, I mean, us in Hamburg, it was hard to get an Alt. Yeah, you.
Beebles. I think that was kind of
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Okay.
Listen to the play, but okay, we're into many details here right now. So no problem. While we're at new things, you've been with us before, girls, and now you're back, but name changed. Let's get that out of the way. So what happened?
We don't know.
I got fired. Let's just be honest here.
Yeah,
I don't know if
was
many of you have
late.
heard of the band Thunder Mother, which we used to be. We used to be Thunder Mother basically, and we had to rebrand and change everything because there's only one person left in Thunder Mother, or whatever. That was weird, but yeah, I got fired, and the girls decided that they didn't want to continue in Thunder Mother without me, which I'm forever grateful for, because, you know, it was heartbreaking enough to be fired and have your whole life, you know, just crash and burn in 1 second. in one single cold email. And you know, have your, you know, best friends decide to go along with you, knowing that the opportunities that we had ahead of us, because during the tour we did with Scorpions in America, they loved us on the tour, so they decided that we would do the European tour because of that. And all these amazing opportunities that many bands, as we did too, worked really hard to get, were just taken away from us. So I'm forever grateful to Mona and Emily for taking that, you know, leap of faith and start something new with me. And it kind of already feels like we're on a good path, because we're finding happiness in music again, and we're enjoying what we're doing, and we're laughing a lot. So all elements that are important to have when you're, you know, devoting your life to something. Emily, Mona, you want to add?
But I mean, like, a big thing was like we worked as a team in Thundermother, as a band. We had democracy, and all of a sudden, our ex-colleague decided that she would be the only one taking decisions and wanted to fire Guernica. And yeah, that was kind of enough for us. And Guernica not only has one of the best rock voices in the world, she's also an amazing person. So it was a big decision to leave the band, but at the same time, it was a no-brainer, kind of. And we were just really happy and relieved that all of us wanted to start something new together. And then it just went fast from there.
Yeah, we worked hard. Took all the anger and turn it into something creative and constructive. And and now we're a band of brunettes, and you can't do business with blondes.
Excuse me?
No, you're not.
Shots
you're
fired.
Not.
We are a little traumatized by a blonde person. No offense, but
You're not what I mean.
Just joking.
No, but I think it's interesting. I don't know if anyone knows anything about the history of Thundermother as a band, but when we joined in 2017, we went in on the premises that we were going to do this as a band. And also being eager to take a next step in our musical careers, we didn't really do any research, as you do when you know, apply for a new job. You might like look into the company you're going into, or blah blah blah. You might, you know, check some references or something, but we didn't do that. And we also now found out that what happened to us has happened. We were the 6th time it happened, so it was kind of like, if we would have been more mature, I guess we would have already kind of been able to figure out that it was going to eventually happen to us as well, which it will eventually happen to the new members as well, because history just keeps repeating itself in that with our former band member. And yeah, but I'm happy that Thundermother brought me and Emily together, and through Emily I got to know Mona, and now we have something that actually feels really, really good, and it really, really feels like we can take over the world in a healthy, good way. So yeah.
It is of course, like, all of you invested, and I mean, I've been following your career, as well, you know, and some other people might know that too, for quite a while. I know that you all worked extremely hard, and that you built a brand, and like without you, that brand would never have gotten as big as it did. It must be very hard now to start basically from scratch, because like Thundermother, as you said, you were an established brand, you toured the US and everybody knew the name, and now you have to get a new name out, which is a good time to repeat the name so people know that that's what you know. But like, that must be kind of super hard work to get the gems now, like, back. Or did you manage to like immediately reestablish some of the connections that you had built?
We were used to hard work because we did a lot of the work behind the scenes in Thundermother. So the 3 of us, we know what it takes, and we just continue doing all of this hard work. And as you can see, we managed to build our new brand in no time. But we work like equally hard or harder actually. But I think we know what it takes to be to become a big band, and you don't get many chances. And we are grateful for every chance that we get, but also we try every day to do something that takes us further as a band. But also we have made a lot of good connections and gotten to know good people on the road. So we still have those connections and friendships, and it's been very helpful for us. And
I think
yeah, do you want to add?
Yeah, no, first of all, I would like to say thank you, Gunnar, because it makes us very happy to hear people that can, like people from the outside that actually are aware and see of the hard work that we put in, because it's 100% true. When we joined Thundermother, nobody respected the brand. Nobody, like people knew of the brand and they knew, oh, there's a cool female AC/DC wannabe band kind of thing. That was like people didn't take it serious, but it was like, oh, girls, so they just got opportunities. Whereas when we joined the band, we were like, we really want to, obviously we take advantage of the fact that we are girls, so we might get opportunities easily or other opportunities, but we want to make sure that once we get those opportunities, we show them that we are worthy of the opportunities, and we were going to take it further than that. So we always worked really hard on like being good performers, being good musicians, or at least us three. I can't speak for the other one, but we did our utmost to get some respect as musicians and to build a brand name to be, you know, a respectable band. We're not here because we're girls. We're here because we're badass musicians and we're killing it doing our thing and touring like crazy and blah, blah, blah. So I'm really happy that you could see that. Thank you, Gunnar, for saying it, because we did really work our asses off to build Thundermother, the brand, which was taken away from us. And I think that, yeah, we've grown and we've gotten so many great connections throughout the years, because a lot of people actually see that what we brought to the table, and we've been able to use that now that we're building the gems. But I still believe that it's really hard to build a new brand, and we're doing our best to spread the word as much as possible everywhere. But it's I personally feel it's very frustrating, because we were this close to breaking. It felt, at least it was like we were kind of like, you know, almost touching breakingness. I don't know how that would mean, but you know, and yeah, we can like smell it, but then it was just, and now we just had to start from square one. And a lot of people don't understand that I don't know, like even with Thundermother, people send us stuff all the time. As much as I've like blocked it, we get information, and there's still like our photos floating around. So it's like marketing the band wrong. So I can see how people that are not very much into social media and blah, 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 they probably miss that there's new members until they go and see the show. And then they already paid for the ticket, and they had to like listen to the heavy metal or whatever they're doing now. And I mean, heavy metal is nice too, but you know,
Yeah.
if you want to see Thundermother the way it was with us, it was a little bit different. And yeah, Emily.
I mean,
I'm
as
going
long
on a tangent.
as they're not doing black metal, you know, Gunnar is not gonna get convinced anyway. So
But Gunnar, I love
girls.
Gunnar. Gunnar was supporting us even if we were like this little AC/DC airborne wannabe band, and I really love that. But Emily,
Yeah, but I mean, it is like it's been tough, and you can hear that on the album if you listen to the lyrics. Like we used a lot of the emotions we went through to write songs, and it's been frustrating, like Ernika says, but we're slowly, like all the support we're getting means so much, because that means that we we feel that we have a value as the musicians and performers that we are, and that it's not only about the band name that we built, whatever, you know, but also we have had to realize that a name of a band is also important. So we need to continue to get that out. But I mean, this year, like in 1 year, we got back some of the shows that we missed last year. So we're playing Sweden Rock Festival and, you know, some shows in Sweden that we were supposed to play in Thunder Mother last year, but now we're playing this year as the Gems. And I mean, the only festival I'm missing right now is Wacken. So let's hope for that next year. That would be like the circle is complete again, you know?
And if you want to shoot another video, you know where to go.
Yeah, for sure.
Should be a no-brainer, because I mean, just to end this topic, all the talent is now in the Gems, to say positively. So, and I mean, it was clear from the first time that I actually heard you that yeah, there was this amazing talent. Then we did this London thing together, and I saw you live and was like, whoa, this band really kicks ass. And I mean, wonderful singing, wonderful drumming, and great guitar work that actually got much better when Mona came in. And not saying anything. So anyways, I'm pretty sure you guys are making the Gems great again, to say that. And we need to move to the next beer, because I see dry faces on the screen, and that we cannot have. So Julia.
Okay, just let me have the last sip.
I'm seeing so many panic faces in the chat right now, just like chugging the rest of the beer, going, "Oh God, we're moving to the next one. Oh God."
Okay, so I'm not the only one. I'm glad.
What's happening here? This is not what I'm used to.
It was too fascinating to listen to the story, so people forgot to drink. Bad luck. Let's drink more. Come on.
Well, and I read it has a high shootability, as you say, right?
Yeah.
It went down fast. So now we're going with the Coconut Grove.
And apparently not everyone has it.
Okay, we're going with the Coconut Grove and the Dominica. And you see it has two names, which are actually destinations that we love. For the Coconut Grove is a part of Miami where we used to live. And it's a very beautiful, laid-back part of Miami. And we thought that the beer has the same vibes as this little part of Miami. And that's why we named it after the Coconut Grove. And it was matching very well because it has a hint of coconut, which brings the hops in. This is actually a non-alcoholic beer. And give it a try first, and then I can tell you a little more about it.
So, skål, cheers, Prost.
Cheers.
Prost.
There we go.
Cheers. Well, in the Dominica is a beautiful island in the Caribbean. And the beer is very, very hoppy, very fruity. And that's why we named it after this beautiful island. The Dominica, is a double dry hop pale ale, 4.7 degrees alcohol. So a very good drinking beer for a long evening.
What? Oh, 0,4.
Oh no, you're having the non-alcoholic. I think there are two different beers in the round now.
Yeah, I got the Dominica.
So everybody has who has the Dominica has an alcohol beer with alcohol. Everybody has the Coconut Grove has a beer without alcohol.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe we can talk a little bit about non-alcoholic beers. Back in 2015, we thought there must be a chance to brew a tasty non-alcoholic beer. At that time, we were actually the first ones in the craft beer scene in Germany who invented one. This was an IPA, which is still our best-selling beer, the UNN. 2 years after that, we thought we need a second one, and this is the Coconut Grove. And we were really pleased because it sells well, but it's also very nice if you're at a craft brewers festival and you can't always drink alcohol. So we have a very good beer that you can drink if you don't feel drinking alcohol, but if you like beer. So Gunnar, what do you think? Because this is just something good for you right now, right?
Actually, yes, because one of the reasons that I was away for quite a while was medical advice. I wasn't supposed to drink much alcohol, so I heavily reduced it. And actually only returned this year when I did the 70,000 tons. And of course, you have to drink something while on the cruise. So now I'm back on the alcohol. But this isn't like, first of all, this is my favorite of the three. And why am I saying? Because Kehrwieder, the brewery, actually has more than just one non-alcoholic beer. Maybe you can tell us a little about that?
Oh yeah, we also have the Roadrunner, which is a stout, coffee stout, non-alcoholic, with a lot of coffee. It's like the caffeine is similar to a cola, but it's only natural ingredients. I also like to call it sparkling coffee because it's really nice and wakes you up. And we see that there is a big market because more and more people don't want to miss the taste, but not always keen on drinking alcohol.
Yeah, I mean, when I was on non-alcoholic beers or not on alcohol, I actually noticed that as long as during a show I have something yellow in my hand, I'm fine. It doesn't have to have alcohol or not, but I need something in my hand. I've been conditioned to do that 40 years of concerts. So,
but that's the same in the beer scene, right? If you don't have a beer in your hand, everybody's saying, "What's wrong with you?" Right?
Yeah, that also is part of it, that the social pressure goes away as long as you have something in your hand that's yellow, nobody will bother you.
That's why there's so many pictures of you at concerts with bananas in your hand. That's now it makes sense.
Do I look like Abba? There is actually a famous picture of him with a banana in his hand, but that's another story. So, but anyways, of the three, because I tasted the other two before, just to be prepared. I'm not a big fan of coffee, I have to say. So, like, of course, that wasn't going to be my favorite. Because it has like for everybody who likes coffee, try out the Kehrwieder coffee stout because that really has a very strong coffee taste. I also like the other IPA that you gave me, but this one I think because of that fruity, light perfume taste it gives me, I think that's my favorite. And I'm actually very happy now for every brewery who does a decent alcohol-free beer because a lot of them kind of suck. And to have this is a great thing. So, well, thank you very much for this alcohol-free beer. What does everybody else think of it? Let's have Florian first.
Yeah, I quite like that as well, and I think it's amazing what hops can do, and you don't need that much alcohol to have a hoppy taste that gives you that fresh flavor on a sunny day. And yeah, I'm actually also always looking for non-alcoholic beers for times when I don't want or can't drink alcohol, and I just really love the taste of beer, and so that's a very good one to drink when you're not drinking.
Yeah, and you're right. It's exactly the problem with non-alcoholic beers because the alcohol brings the taste into the beer. So we just threw a lot of hops in it to make it a good beer.
All right, let's do the goods, but this time with inverted order. So Emily, you go first.
Yeah, I really like this one. It's a really good non-alcoholic beer, and it really has this summer vibe. I want to drink this on festivals and stuff like that, and it kind of has this like a little pina colada vibe, which I really enjoy. So I like this very much.
Oh, did you read the label, Emily?
The label?
Exactly, yeah, on the back. Well, it's in German, but that's exactly what we say. It's a pina colada.
Okay.
Everybody wants an umbrella with it.
Yeah, that's good.
You like pina colada? So Genika.
I don't usually like anything with coconut. But I think this was really nice. And I don't know if there's something wrong with my taste buds because I wasn't feeling all the flavors earlier today when we were trying all the French delicacies, but this was just a very fresh tasting, nice, easy to drink beer, and I really enjoy it. Like it's just fresh and nice, and it has a flavor, so it doesn't necessarily taste like it's alcohol free or whatever.
Mhm.
It's nice, really good, and the coconut is not too overwhelming, which I appreciate.
Mona, I heard that you're the expert on coconuts.
Yeah, I was also about to say pina colada. For everyone who knows me, you will know that I'm a big fan of pina coladas, and you can definitely feel the fruitiness in this beer. It gives me pineapple and a little bit of like dried mango. Actually, I don't know how to explain it, but like dried tropical fruit and
Muesli. No, I'm just
muesli.
kidding.
And I just thought about why do I love beer so much? And I think the thing that makes me love beer it's cold, and it's like the bitterness of it, and the bubbles, and not necessarily the alcohol, but the alcohol will give the taste, of course. So it's very hard to brew a alcohol-free beer, but actually I really love this beer, and I actually prefer to have something with less alcohol a lot of times, after a show, before a show, on the weekdays,
In life.
always in real life. So, but it's hard to find a good alcohol-free beer. And most of the times you open that beer, it smells a bit like cannabis, and then you drink water, basically. Do you know what I mean? It's the smell of cannabis.
It smells like cannabis or pee, like
a pee, yeah,
like a
pee of
nasty
cannabis.
tugor. Sorry.
Yeah, and the color is like piss, is pee. But this this is a real beer. It has the same, exactly the same color. And
Mona, did ölen är blurrig.
yeah, but anyway, you can still see the color. So this looks like a regular like IPA, a very hoppy IPA, and I just love the color, the yellow, sunny, like I don't know how to say in English, but it just feels like a real IPA beer from that you can get from the tap if you order at a beer place with a lot of different special beers, and I like that a lot.
We should have
And,
this backstage.
Yeah, I really enjoy this. I think this is my favorite. So now we only have 2 beers, but it's probably going to be my favorite, one of my favorites this evening. So,
Yeah, just
Put it on
drop me a
your
line
rider
when
in
you're in
Germany.
Germany. Maybe we can do something for your backstage then.
Yeah.
Yeah,
At
I
least
would
in
be
Germany.
I would be really happy to promote this kind of beer, like alcohol-free beer that's really good in the taste, and because since it's alcohol-free, it tastes less, but this has a lot of bitterness to it, and the taste develops. So good job with this. I really like
Thank
this.
you very much.
And it's
And
also
I think-
I'm just gonna add, like, we don't drink as much as we did back in the day when we met Gunnar the first time. I mean, we drink on our downtime and maybe like the day when it's like we have a off day the day after, but so alcohol-free beer has become more and more interesting for us too, because just like you said, it's nice to just sometimes have the taste of a beer, but you don't want to get drunk, or there's like no time for that.
Exactly. We only do daytime drinking nowadays. So just before bus call, you can like we go to a brewery and have a lot of beers just after breakfast, and then it's bus call, and yeah, that's the type of drinking we do nowadays.
Is that just to get like a little buzz on that helps you sleep on the bus, or is that not part of the?
No, it's just more fun, and you don't need to be hungover in the morning after.
I'm a big fan of day drinking, yeah.
Take care of the dog that bit you. Max, you probably know about it, but you haven't given me or us your opinion yet.
Well, I mean, I seem to be the only one, maybe except for Florian also, who got the Dominica in his package, which I am now convinced is part of a plot to make me the drunkest of all of us, so I make more stupid, entertaining jokes or something. Well, anyway, so
I'm
this
drinking
says.
both.
Perfect. Well, you'll be my wingman in that case, Florian. So it says here it's a Dominica double dry hop pale ale, and for my taste buds, it's definitely more bitter than I would have expected from a pale ale, which is interesting. I actually had to look up in the dictionary right now the English translation for toff, which reminded me it's peat in English, so it's like very earthy kind of taste to it. I want to say there's hints of raspberry, but overall it's like very like bitter and earthy, but very it's like good taste, and it's not too malty either, so it's definitely, even with the bitterness, still goes down pretty well. So
yeah, but it's interesting because this batch is much more bitter than it usually is, but this is also because we use natural ingredients, right? And if you have the hops, which is a little more bitter, then it comes out like that. Normally, it shouldn't be that bitter.
It's still good though. I like it.
Yeah.
And to put it in a historic context, we are in the 21st Metality beer tasting. We had 21 times 6, so more than 100 beers in our beer tasting. And this is the first alcohol-free beer that we're having. And and I think it's quite remarkable that you didn't put it on the first spot, but on the second one. So we all had alcohol in the first beer, and then drinking a non-alcoholic beer afterwards, and it still tastes great. I think that is really, really remarkable and impressive, because usually I do a lot of drinking of non-alcoholic beers during daytime, but once I get on my first proper beer, it's hard for me to switch back because it just does taste better typically, the beer with alcohol.
Definitely. And of course I did it on purpose because I knew that it's so good. Yeah.
Really impressive. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
The good news for me is that I can just hop on a bus, local bus, drive kind of around the mountain in Hamburg, the little kind of higher thing next to all the low things, and then I'm at the warehouse and I can actually buy that alcohol-free beer in greater numbers, because I think I just found a new favorite alcohol-free beer. Good luck to me here.
But the non-alcoholic IPA is available in Sweden in the Systembolaget shops.
Oh, nice.
Yeah,
Good.
the one.
Very cool.
So you can go to Systembolaget and get yourself a lot of beer. That's nice. So anyways, we talked about the brewery. We talked about the gems. Everybody remember the gems?
What band is that again?
Exactly. Show the
I
t-shirt.
don't know. I don't know.
What's the gems?
The vinyl here.
Yeah, you haven't told us the thing about the initials yet.
No, it's
Your
our
names.
initials.
Yeah.
Janica, Emily, Mona, in plural. So
Or
talked about,
upcoming
like-
bass player?
I mean, we are having like a live bass player. The last couple of shows has been with Mia Karlsson on bass, the former singer of Crucified Barbara, and we're having another bass player too called Daniela, which is also really good. So we are like switching between those two, and I guess we just have to come up with a nickname of the live bass player that starts with an S somehow.
I mean, otherwise you're just gonna do the jammed. I mean, that also kind of works, right? We can all agree. Surely, that's.
I mean, obviously now every bass player in the jams has to have an S in their names. That's given. So if they don't have one, they have to make up one. The only thing we haven't talked about much yet is actually Metality. And the duty of talking about that falls to Florian, who's still too sober to do so, but doesn't matter. Now you have to. So what's up? What's Metality?
I think before we go into the depths of Metality, there's still one thing to announce, that the Gems and Metality are doing together today, a little auction.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because you know that Metality is doing social projects, and the Gems said they want to auction something to support our homeschooling project that I'm going to talk about in a minute. And probably Emily, you have it and could show it.
I have it. It's a signed drum head. This drum head has been on a kit which was used in the Watch Out music video and also the Like a Phoenix video. So it's kind of a famous drum head. And now it's retiring and going to another person's home, hopefully.
And so we're auctioning that now. You can write the bids that you're willing to bid for that in the chat on the various streams that you're watching. So we got so many today. We got Instagram, YouTube, Facebook, Twitch. We got the Zoom chat.
Wow.
We're on Twitter today, or X as they call it now. So there's plenty of chats, and we're all collecting the bids that are coming in. And from time to time, I will give an update on what the highest bid is at the moment. And then once we have your name, Emily is actually going to write it on that drumhead to show that it's actually for you. So that's the big thing to win today, and we're very happy to receive the bids for it. All right, and so what's that homeschooling thing about that the money goes to? It is about kids who want to play music but can't afford it, and we give those kids instruments, and we sponsor the lessons. And so we're at the moment we have about 8 kids in that program. We want to grow it. We want to get more kids in, and for that we need money, and that's where this goes to. And that is one of our many projects. We have also our You'll Never Rock Alone project that is about getting disabled people to concerts, so everyone can enjoy the heavy metal and rock music, and everyone can rock together. We have our 666 sleeping bags that we collect every year for homeless people. In the summer, we collect them at festivals, for example, in Wacken, also at Rock Hard Festival, and had a few more this year, and then give that to people who work with homeless people, and distribute that to the people who need it. And in winter, we collect money to buy sleeping bags and distribute it through the Metality chapters locally. And that was very successful this year. We actually managed to get 2 times 606 sleeping bags. We invested more than 52,000 euros in sleeping bags this year. And some 32 of our chapters participated and delivered those sleeping bags to the people locally, and was very happy about that. And then the last project we have is our Black Dog project, which is about raising awareness for depression. That's about wearing this little wristband with a black dog that stands for depression, and trying to get that out of the taboo, and showing awareness for that. That's the social projects. And then Metality is also a community of metalheads. And earlier on today, I looked up what happened since you've last been with us on a beer tasting and how much it has grown. And it's actually quite stunning. We're about 5 times as big as we were 2 years ago. And even Gunnar, since you were on a beer tasting last time, which was June last year, so 10.5 months ago, we more than doubled since then. We're now at 1,750 people in more than 70 chapters, most of them in Germany, but also in quite a few other countries. Just opened up Mexico, Tunisia. We have Costa Rica. We do have a growing chapter in Finland, but we don't have one in Sweden yet for some reason. So that is a blank spot that we should fill very soon, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah. So indeed, when we spoke last time, we were some 300 people in Metality, and now it's 1,750.
Wow.
Amazing.
Great.
We're very happy to be part of it, being that Sweden is missing a doesn't have a chapter. We are very happy to always support Metality. You guys are doing such a great work, and I'm really happy it keeps growing because it's for such a good cause. Oh, like across the board, like so many different things, and it's just good. Good job.
We really feel that we're touching something there, and we have so many chapters now that are really, really actively promoting Metality locally. And when we spoke last time, it was still lockdown time when this was all not possible, and now it's just going very big.
About doing good things, I shall do something because we have lots of people that look at me on the screen and they look like they are thirsty. So we have another beer coming up. Julia, what's going on now?
Okay, let's go with something very, very fresh. It's our Frischer Traum.
I have to go and get it.
Fresh Dream. I wisely used the break to run to the fridge.
The 10th anniversary, because every year we're going down to Bavaria to harvest the hops and brew it. This is a beer that you can only brew once a year because it's brewed with fresh hops, because hops contains a lot of water, so it has to get dried right after the harvest. So you only have like a time frame of 6 to 8 hours to get it into the brew house. And we have very good friends at the Riedenburger Brauhaus in Bavaria. So we go harvest the hops and brew this beer together with the Riedenburger Brauhaus. It's a classical pale ale, but brewed with fresh hops. And we talked about it before. We have no idea how bitter this will get and how fruity, because every year is different. And it's a bit like wine. If you don't know what comes, if it's really bitter or if it's more fruity. Yeah, let's give it a try.
Cheers.
Skål, cheers, Prost. Hau weg. Janika, you look like somebody who wants to begin talking about this beer.
Do I? I think
Yes.
I poured it wrongly because I only had foam. Wait.
Your color, either it's your color because mine is much lighter. Are you sure you have the right beer?
It's pretty
Wasn't it
reddish
the
for me. It looks.
Frische Braun?
Yeah.
Interesting, because mine looks more golden and not really
Let me see.
reddish.
This is, yeah, it looks,
Same for
Alright.
me.
yeah. It tastes really good. very, it's like bitter, and I don't know what's this supposed to taste, but I like it.
Well, that's all it has to be, right?
But I have a question though regarding the foam, because I noticed this one is much more foamy, and I did see a reel on one of the social medias, and there was this guy. He was like, "You learned that you need to pour like this, but you actually need to pour like this, so you get so it should be foamy, and then it doesn't like foam in your body, or like it's not foamy, but like."
You get
Weird.
like the oxygen in or something.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
That was the real video. Like, oh, you've been pouring beer all along wrong, because everyone who knows how to pour beer pours it like this because nobody wants the foam. But now he was saying how like you need to like, and yeah.
But if you want to enjoy the full taste of the beer, I mean, the taste also goes through your nose. And if
Yeah.
you have a lot of foam, then you can't smell it.
But well, what wet hop pale ale? Okay. I like it. It's quite bitter, but I like it.
Yeah. And it could be that next year it's much more fruity because we don't know how the summer will be and how the hops will come out.
Okay.
Which I like because it's with the same with the wine, right? Because you don't know which year always changes. Right,
Yeah.
Florian? I mean, you're the wine taster I heard yesterday.
Amongst other things, I also like tasting wines. Yes.
Max,
and yeah,
so what do you
every
think?
year's different.
Because yours is also reddish.
Yeah, it's also reddish. I mean, there's no reddish in it, I hope at least. But no, it's interesting because I mean the bitterness is definitely there, but like the very first, even before just tasting it, but like the very first like waft I got was like the first association was like toast with butter and honey. So like there was like a buttery component, there was like a honey component. I see people saying caramel in the chat, which seems like more apt because there's like a roasty flavor to it, but it's like it has a sweet aroma to it. So there's like honey and butter somewhere. I really like it. It's good. It's nice. I forgot what kind of beer it is.
Pale ale.
Pale ale, right? Yeah. No, it's good. It's nice. It's good.
Hey. Emily.
Oh, sorry. When I tasted first, I kind of got like a little licorice. Do you say that? Lakris. How do you say lakris?
Licorice.
Licorice vibe. But now when I've like had more of it, kind of disappeared. But I mean, there's a lot of flavors in it. All of your beers has like a lot of flavor in them, which is really nice and interesting to try out. And I mean, I'm not usually a big fan of bitter beers, but this is nice because a lot of things are like happening in the mouth when you drink it. So yeah, it's interesting.
Florian.
Thank you.
Yeah, to me, actually, the first two beers were more my type of beer with a more fruity hops, and this one is I can also taste a bit of that buttery thing. I can taste a bit of that caramel, but compared to the first two, it's not that the flavors don't seem to be quite as intense to my taste buds as the first two.
You need to stop. Smoking's not good for taste buds. Mona.
Okay, Dad.
Yeah, I feel it tastes like the first taste I get is it's almost like Swedish knäckebröd. It's a dried flatbread,
Mhm.
I don't know what knäckebröd if you have that in
We have about the same in German.
yeah. Do you get what I mean? The knäckebröd, like falu rågrut or something like that. And then the bitterness strikes you like after. It's really bitter. So first I get the knäckebröd, the flatbread taste, and then the bitterness like it's it's really bitter.
Yeah, it's
I
very
would
good.
say in a way that is a classical Northern German beer because Northern German beers are known to be strong in the hops.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I think there's an added dimension of complexity. So I have to contradict Florian because I think it has a very complex body where the hops does a lot of things. It's not just one form of bitterness. I think it's quite a lot of different types of bitterness at the same time going on. And then, of course, it does have a dry, hoppy finish. And so, yeah, very Northern German beer in a way. It is very much hopped with an added level of complexity. That would be what I have to say about this. Julia.
What I like about our beer?
Now, how would you describe it? Like, what was your aim to? Where did you want to
No,
go?
I think it's much more bitter than the last years. So it's I think for my opinion or for my taste buds, I like it a little more fruity and a little more complex. But as I explained it before, this is something we can't really go into because we are using just the really fresh hop.
But Julia, can I ask you something? How does
yeah.
how does the weather like the taste of the hops you get after the season, the weather that season, how does it affect the taste?
Well, if you
hops?
have like a very good summer with nice sun, and then it can grow really nicely, and the hops can grow nicely, and then it can like invent. No, it's not the right word. You can get the bitterness in it, and you can get the fruitiness in it.
So it gets more bitter and more fruity if the
It's
summer
more
is warm
fruity,
and
yeah.
sunny.
Yeah.
What about rain and cold summer?
Well, then
Does
they
that
don't
affect?
grow that big, so you don't have like if you open like the hops cone, I think that's the right name. You have all the flavor in it, and the bigger it gets, the more flavor you get into the beer.
And as
The interesting thing about the hops is that normally for classical pils in northern Germany, you just throw hops in while heating and while boiling the beer to get the bitterness out. But like when you cook at home, you always put herbs in it at the last few minutes. And this is what we do while we are dry hopping, because we want the flavors in it and not the bitterness.
Okay. How about the soil? Does that affect the taste of the hops?
Definitely. If you have like we grew Cascade in the US and in Germany, and you get a different taste.
Cool.
it's like wine where the terroir, as it's called, is affecting the grapes. And it actually is the same with the hops. It does make a difference where it grows because like different minerals in the ground and everything, a different like way of letting water in or through or holding it, all of that affects the taste of the hops in the end. That's why you have like certain areas which are famous for the hop growing, like Hallertau in Germany. Like that's an area where just really good hops is growing.
Where is that?
And that has Bavaria's roots at Franconia, actually. I think the Franconians will kill me if I say Bavaria. It's in the state of Bavaria, but as far as I remember, it's the Franconian area. Maybe Julia knows better because you go there anyway.
Azerbaijan.
Max, what was that?
I was saying Azerbaijan because that's technically Bavaria. It's not just wild guess. Never mind.
Oh.
Well, it's not only the hops. It's also the water can be different. I've heard from some people from Hamburg who are a bit older. When Astra was brewed, they have like two different water. You have the city water of the city of Hamburg, and then from the area from the outside of the city. And they only bought the beer when it was brewed with the water from outside of the city, because they said it's so much better. It tastes so much better.
Someone writes, Hallertau is not Franconia. Franconia.
Okay. I'm
The
a Northern
Asta
German.
beer, it never tastes good.
Whatever, the Bavarians will let us know. So, like anybody who's from
Right.
Bavaria, Franconia, let us know where the Hallertau is exactly. And then Florian will put it in. I admit to be completely Northern German, so I have no clue about what's going on in the south, which begins to me after Osnabrück. That's Dammerberge. After that, everybody is Catholic. That means Bavaria. I'm done. All right, I'm not saying anything anymore. And that
I could give a little update on the bids that are coming in, because that has been quite interesting in the last couple of minutes. It started with 25, and then pretty soon went to the magic 666. Then someone went to 777 and 888, then 999. Someone went to 10101. Then we had 1111, 11111. Then it was 11366, 11666.
Oh my
Then we went to 12345.
Wow.
And at the moment we are at 166 euros and 66 cents.
Actually, we're at 199.99. Just came in.
Oh, wow, just came in now. Right.
Wow.
Oh, there we are.
Like to point out, this is a drum skin from a band called The Gems that will be very, very big in future. And it has your name and the autographs of the 3 founding members on that drum skin. So you have to bid a little bit higher, I think, because yeah, that will be really big.
People, it's an investment, right? It's an investment we're talking about. Forget about Bitcoin, forget about, you know, whatever other stuff they want to sell you. This is where it's at. I'm making my bet right here.
Yeah.
And we have the answer on the Hallertau.
Hallertau.
The Hallertau extends across the Bavarian administrative districts of Upper and Lower Bavaria to parts of the districts of Pfaffenhofen, Freising, Kelheim, Landshut, Eichstätt, and Neuburg-Schrobenhausen. So we're in Bavaria, not in Franconia.
I could now nod my head knowingly, but the truth is I have no idea where any of these places really sit.
Those names.
It's in the south.
Those names are clearly made up. This is someone's trying to play us for fools. Neuburg-Schrobenhausen is not a place that can exist. That's where you're getting me that.
No.
Schrobenhausen, really? Goodness. The Bavarian chapter will now crucify us, but that's another story. Let's get back to the band. I mean, with Thunder Mother, you played rock and roll. In a way, I guess that has much to do with Lemmy always said, we're Motorhead, we play rock and roll. Because you had a harder edge to your rock than like your average band, or we heard about Bon Jovi before. I think you also had a harder edge than Bon Jovi to your music. So what is the Gems all about for anybody who hasn't heard you yet, which everybody should really do very quickly, and then we also talk about the album, but let's first say, like, what's the kind of music you're aiming for? What do you want to do?
Pick one to answer.
Yeah, but I can start.
Yeah, go.
I mean, we were like a part of the sound development in Thunder Mother, of course, and I mean, me and Guernica has been part of the songwriting since the Heatwave album, and I mean, we kind of liked how the sound was going and the development of that, and when we formed the Gems, we wanted to kind of continue on that path, which is like classic rock, but bring in some modern like vibes into it in terms of like songwriting and to use like have fun with different effects and stuff like that. Like we used a lot of phaser on this album, which is maybe not super modern, but we had, you know, the mixes are very modern in the way that like the vocals are really, you know, high in the mix and, you know, very close to the speakers when you listen to them. And we just want to bring a new, fresh vibe into the classic rock genre. And I mean, from the 70s and the 80s, we are very much influenced by bands like Queen and Led Zeppelin and Kiss and what else, girls? Fill me in.
I mean, I feel like even the 90s, like we have a little bit of everything. We've really picked and choose from everything that we all love, and all three of us have very different influences and things that we love, but we mixed it up. And yeah, on this first album, it's very, I guess, heavily influenced by both Queen, Van Halen. I think there's some Iron Maiden sprinkled in there, always some Led Zeppelin. So yeah, we just want to, everything that we love about classic rock, we want to take it with us, as well as like mix it up and use all the modern stuff that you can, take advantage of that. And CC Top as well. Obviously, we have that Domino song. But Mona, you have any?
No, I just saw this bid coming in. Phil, is it 666 now in the bid?
No, it's someone's
No.
someone's proposing, like, can we get it up to 666? But they're saying
okay.
explicitly this is not a bid. So we're at
No,
we're at
okay.
222 right now.
Wow,
Really good.
that's really cool.
And yes, it can be mentioned that it's also tax deducible because Metality can give you.
That's like the most German thing to ask. Is like, is this tax deducible?
It is in Sweden
Write this
too.
off.
If you donate money, it is too.
So yeah, Metality can give you
Yeah.
actually an invoice, whatever this thing is called, and you can get it, and then you can deduce it from the tax because it is a donation. Indeed.
And
So
because
that-
we
have
are
that German
a
thing out of the way.
registered charity. That is the good thing. We did quite a bit of an administrative process to get there, but we are a registered charity, and that is why it's tax deductible if you donate to us. And we are now at
Nice.
2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Oh wow.
Amazing.
This is going nice.
But answering the
But let's get
question.
back to the music.
Yeah.
Some people might ask themselves, like, why the hell don't the guys just play something? Well, the answer is we can't.
We
Because
can't.
as soon as we would play something, Twitch and other channels would just switch us off because of breach of copyright, even though it's the band themselves that would be playing it. But no, this is why we can't play any music on this channel. We'd love to, but all you have to do is once this is over, just go on YouTube and then you find the jams. What's the album called, actually? Now that I'm thinking
Phoenix.
about it.
We named it Phoenix because that's the symbolics for something burning up and then rising from the ashes, and that was exactly what we did. We had the rug pulled underneath our feet, and we rebuilt a new brand in a year's time, and we worked every day towards our goal, and we hope that people that are going through some hardship can relate to our music. It could be you're going through a divorce or like anything. It's the same thing. You need to rebuild and get stronger every day, even though it feels hard. But at least we had each other's in this. So it's been a huge support having Gernik and Emily, and yeah, that's
So all
what
you need
Phoenix
to
is
do,
about.
guys, is go to Amazon, type in The Gems with
Yeah,
a G and Phoenix, and then you get the album. And if you don't manage to win the drum skin because you don't spend 666 euros 66, which we hopefully will reach. Come on, guys. Then you just get yourself the CD, take the booklet, go to the show when the girls are coming, and then you get it signed there. I've experienced you, and I think as far as I can remember, every time I saw you, you actually came out and after the gig and talked to the fans and signed things. Are you still doing that?
yeah.
Well, I mean, we did. We haven't toured as much with the Jams yet, and we have a big tour coming up in October all throughout Europe, and we've kind of decided that we're probably gonna do like a completely price worthy. No, it's gonna be like a VIP package where we can meet the people that really want to meet us before the show, because well, last time we actually played, we had an incident that really got it. I don't know how deep we should go here, but it definitely put us in a situation where we feel like it's just better to give time to the people that really, you know, appreciate your time and are there for the right reasons and stuff like that. So we are probably gonna do the opposite and do meeting the people that, you know, yeah. Can you feel
And
it?
people
Like
and people are
pushing my
shy.
train?
Some
Huh?
people might be shy. I'm a shy person. For me, it's easier to be a smaller group of people and so you can really talk to each other in a calm environment instead of just pushing your way through to the merch table, trying to get to say something to someone. Like it's people, all people can't do that.
No.
I
No.
think.
We love to meet people. Like if we could, we would meet everyone every night. Like we totally love that. But we've had some incidents, not just like last show, but through the years, that make us now want to do it under more controlled like situations. To have it more nice for everybody, basically. It's hard. I mean, it's always hard to know how to make everybody happy, but also like put yourself in, you know, in a good position as well, because after a show we're always very exhausted and yeah, it's always it's a tricky thing to
Yeah. It's very tricky. Like,
yeah.
I guess, I mean, last show in Sweden, we had so much fun and the audience was amazing, but it was one of those venues where people were just getting too drunk. So that means that they're like hugging you and touching you, and it's just like too much. And then, yeah, it just gets a little too much. It gets too draining when, yeah, we don't have the necessary, you know, the people around us to help out and stuff like that. So, yeah, we think that our VIP packages are going to be perfect for that.
Yeah. It's sad that like one or two persons have to like ruin it for everybody, but unfortunately it's always hard to know when these situations are gonna happen and stuff like that.
It's
Yeah.
I think sometimes there can be like sort of this parasociality, right? Where people, they see you on social media, they see you on stage, and they get drunk and they kind of think, okay, we're best buddies now, and then boundaries are crossed, and you really don't want that to happen. So I think someone just posted in the chat, meeting the band before the gig is way better, and I think you guys probably agree. It's just
Yeah.
a safer environment for everyone, right?
Better for
Well,
everyone. You get some really proper quality time with the
Yeah.
people that actually care about, you know, like in that way, like, so it's much better, I think.
Well, I already know where I will be on the 10th of October in Hamburg because you're going to play the Head Crash. So yeah,
Yeah.
sure, I'm coming around, no question. Maybe somebody can post your tour dates somewhere into the chat or the channels so everybody can see where their favorite rock band is going to be this autumn. So if
Do we
somebody
have
of the
that
team could
somewhere?
just post the tour dates of the band, please.
Do we have
And then
them?
everybody.
Mona,
I'm sure someone's gonna get him with it. It's not gonna be a problem.
Maybe.
But the
I
people,
don't know.
the people yearn for the beer. I'm seeing so many comments. People are
Oh,
dehydrated.
we already want to go to the next beer.
Yes,
That means even I
yes.
have to drown this one really quickly. It was too interesting to talk to you guys.
Is it okay
Again.
to have a toilet break?
Oh, absolutely.
Yes, sure. Run.
No.
tea break. I'm going to. Bye.
Okay, should we go all of us? Okay.
So now everybody can go and get their beers from the fridge or go and do something else. I still have mine, so I'll go.
I
The
got
next
mine.
one is going, but maybe we can already announce what's the next. Oh, damn it! Always background, always like next beer is going to be this one. If I see this correctly, Julia, am I right?
It's all good, and I just realized when I was thinking, should I say to this beer? There are just I think 4 interesting topics to talk about. First of all, is the name. It's all good. Maybe you've seen that we have very, I would say, very beautiful labels. and they are all very unique because they are all done by an artist, which is a good friend of mine, and they are all woodcuts. So it's not that I'm asking a designer to create a logo and can say, okay, I want the tree a little more on the right or on the left. When we asked him if he would do our labels, he was saying, okay, but be aware that you get what you get and you don't get upset. And
it also means that you have to give us the name of the artist if you're allowed to.
oh yeah, of course, it's Alex Diamond. And he has a very nice gallery in Hamburg. It's Helium Cowboy Art Space. It's a very nice place to go to look at his art. And they always have other artists. Yeah. And they have our beer. So I think it was his 20th anniversary when he named one of his main pictures, It's All Good. And the question behind it is it so? And we are living in a very rich country. And but of course, it's not all good if you look into the world. And then we were thinking, what kind of beer could we brew for this special event for his 20th anniversary? And when we used to live in the Caribbean, we visited some coffee and cocoa plantations, and realized that it was sorry, that you only use the seeds to make the chocolate out of it, or the cocoa, and they just throw out this very nice pulp. So for this beer, we are using the pulp from the cocoa and brewed beer with it. And it's Imperial Gose. So this is a very special beer. Gose is one of the oldest beer styles in Germany, from the river Gose, actually, which is close to Goslar. And it's typically brewed with salt and coriander. And we added the cocoa fruit to it.
11.5% alcohol. Wow.
Right. Well, and then coming up to one of the, I don't know if you talked about it in the other beer tasting, I'm sure you did, to the purity law. Yeah. Luckily, we are living in a very liberal city, because if you brew something which is under the purity law, you have the option to ask for permission. So you have to write down the recipe and send it to the government of Hamburg. And here, actually, we have more from the cocoa fruit juice than we have malt. And we thought this will never go through, but it did, actually. So we were able to bring it to the market. Yeah, give it a try.
Which just shows us that we're not living in Bavaria. We're back to Bavaria again. But yeah. As other brewers told us, the authorities in Bavaria are very, very strict about the purity laws. You can only have water.
You can only get the permission outside of Bavaria. And of course, this is something, now I think we crossed the border, because the first 3 beers were very drinkable, yeah, or shootable, as you say. And now I have something that is a little more complex.
All right. I guess we just start. So It's All Good goes into your glasses now. Mona will join us a little bit later, I suppose. So cheers, skål.
Cheers.
And cheers to the 266.66 that we're at the moment.
There we go. So what? That's for a drum head for what band is that again?
The jazz.
There we go.
Guys, I'm gonna add something to the drum head now. A pair of drumsticks, my signature drumsticks with the Gems logo on. And if you want me to play with them, I can do it before I send them. So I'm adding these to the drum head.
And we're
Oh, yeah.
playing in Stockholm on the 18th of May, so they can be freshly played.
They can be used if so wanted.
Yeah, Mona,
Thank you.
okay. So now everybody here, Mona, it's all good,
Mm.
which is literally what you have to drink now. It's all good. That's the next
Har du
beer.
smakat? It's all good, Mona.
All good.
So, cheers.
Cheers.
Nej.
Yeah, as the Belgians would say, a goose. Oof.
Prost.
That's definitely something for the connoisseurs, I want to say. It's not your
We're
everyday.
big fans of goose or goose or whatever you want to call it. I didn't know that this comes from a German river. I always thought it was a Belgian thing.
What is this?
The type of beer is a so-called goose or depending on the country you're in. And one of the characteristics of a goose is that it is certainly most of the times quite sour.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I believe you find this one to be exactly that. Emily, you're again.
Yeah, I was just
What do you
thinking
think?
about that. It kind of tastes like a sour beer. And I mean the smell, it has a lot of like fruity smell and also a lot of flavor. Like I'm also kind of like I have a hard time to put all the flavors in, it's a lot of flavor. A really, really rich beer in many ways.
Mhm.
Yeah. I like it. It's very fruity.
I love the salt in it.
Mhm.
Salt?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, it
Sea
tastes like
salt.
salty.
It is? Okay.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah.
I think it's amazing. So many different tastes that come together. Really complex. I absolutely love that one. We haven't had anything similar so far. We did have Gose beers, but this one is really special with the cocoa and not the cocoa, but the cocoa pulp. And yeah, and I've actually been tasting that in tropical countries. That's
cool.
and I could find it here. Absolutely, it's beautiful.
I 100% agree. This is like I want to say this is definitely like very progressive, right? Taste wise, but I also want to say this is or I mean I want to say this is like one of the most memorable beers we probably had so far in like all the beer tastings we had. It's like the first impression I had was like a lot of tomato for some reason because it had like that fruitiness, as you said, Emily, but also like the salty, savory kind of vibe. And then with the sea salt, I'm almost getting like a sour, like Bloody Mary vibe, right? It has tomato juice, it has salt, it has like a pinch of lemon or something. So like there's so much going on here. Definitely, I want to say like very low shootability. So this is not something that I would drink like all night. This is more like you really take your time to sort of like ingest it, and it's like not so like if I want to do like a music comparison, it's not like streaming or MP3. This would be like a vinyl like long player, like put it on the record player and like just really dive into it.
And I would say this is something to share, right? This is a beer
yeah.
to share and not just drink it by yourself. Yeah.
I think it has something that is quite rare in beers. It has this, what the Japanese call umami. There's some soupy taste to this, which of course adds to the body and the complexity of the multi-flavor attack that your palate is getting here. And I don't think I have tasted umami very often in beers, but yeah, this one sure has it because yeah, I can taste it. Kanika, your take. You look skeptical.
I really don't want to offend you, Julia, but it wasn't for me, I think.
Oh, good. But that's good. I mean, that's the good thing about the beer variety. I mean,
yeah.
I'm sure if we finish the tasting, everybody has its favorite beer, and it's not all the same.
It's true, but I feel like I could definitely drink it. Like I could finish it probably because it's like nice and you take a little sip here and there. But for me, it was just I'm not a big fan of sour beer. generally. So it's hard. It's tough when it's like sour for me.
Right. I totally understand.
So I'm sorry.
All good. It's all good.
I apologize by leaving the beer
No
tasting.
worries, Annika, because yesterday Julia told me she's actually looking forward to that reaction as well.
Oh.
So you just like did something that she was aiming for.
Okay, good. Yeah.
Not just everybody saying this is great. And I'm actually standing by your side. I've never been a fan of Goese, but here we are. And yeah, I'm with you. So you're not alone, don't worry. Mona.
Yeah, it's like smoked sangria, and you're wading out in the water at a place where it's very salty water, and then you get some water in your drink from the sea, because it's I did that once with the sangria. I accidentally had the seawater in my sangria, and then you had this salty taste to the sangria.
Oh, you drank it, Mona.
And you
Yes.
were like, right, this is the only glass I have. I
Yeah.
might as well drink. I mean,
I don't
Like, I'm
wanna-
keeping it.
what
I
are you
don't
gonna
wanna
do? Not
wait
drink it?
She is
Can someone
Swedish.
please light the fire for a moment?
Yeah,
Yeah.
you don't waste alcohol. Have it.
Exactly. If you're from
It's
Norway or
getting dark
Sweden
here.
or Finland, you don't waste alcohol. Salt water in or out, fuck it,
No.
you have to drink it.
You just drink it. Okay, so yeah, it's getting dark here. Maybe I need to move
You
inside
need to
soon.
turn on the light or else we won't see you anymore.
I don't have any lights.
Um,
I'm on my balcony, but I'll try to get some lights here.
I mean,
I'll
I'm
fix
all
it.
for darkness, as everybody knows, but you're a little bit getting out of our
Hello,
view here.
darkness, my old friend. Right.
Right.
Okay,
I think
I'm
you can
gonna fix
also
it.
notice that this beer has 11.5% right now.
One sipper, like right. This beer tasting went to the shit. I'm just kidding.
But it's interesting because I don't feel that this beer is so strong, like 11.5. I don't really feel that alcohol.
That's what makes it so dangerous, right?
Is there anyone else
It's
that
like-
feels hot in their head? Like,
Yeah. It's like
Yeah.
after the first sip, I was like, okay, I'm not gonna refill this with this beer. I'm just gonna refill with some of the other beers because I'm
Yeah.
not gonna be doing myself a favor because I'm on camera. Everybody
Come on,
else,
Max. We want to
and
hear
people
you.
at
I don't know if
home-
I got burned
People
people
today
at
or
home,
it's just
you can do whatever you
hot.
want, but this is gonna be on social media forever. So it's like,
Oh.
Come on, Max. We want to hear your jokes, so have another sip of this.
all right, you convinced me. I'll have another sip.
Well, there's more to come. I think we are.
Yep.
Yes, it's on 9%, I think. So it's not really going down now.
Very good. So, Max, keep on drinking. Florian, I think you wanted to finish the general talk about what Metality is. You went into the details about our social actions and everything. But what is at the heart of it? And I need you to talk about this because I need to go to the fridge and get the other 2 beers. So, on you go.
Can I ask
I
something
think you're
to
still
Florian?
muted, Florian.
Yeah.
Can I ask you something, Florian?
Yeah, sure.
You mentioned that you guys work with the you had the
Black Dog, the
mental
depression,
health
yeah.
stuff.
Yeah.
So can you talk more about that? Because I'm guessing that's like a constant ongoing project that you have.
Yeah, it's basically raising awareness for depression as a disease, and getting acceptance for that. And this is actually something that is going really strong. We've already distributed something, I think, between 20,000 and 25,000 of those wristbands. And you can order that on our website, and we send that to people for free. And then you can wear that. And that's pretty much at the heart of this concept for the time being.
But if I can
we-
just add the idea of the wristband, right? It's like a signifier of going like, okay, there's maybe I have some touch points with the topic, right? Maybe I myself, I'm I suffer from depression, or I know people in my family or close friends, or I have some other touch points with the issue. So the idea is to like establish that wristband as a signifier to have like a, you know, like a very low barrier of entry opportunity to just go and talk to people, maybe at a concert or like at a bar. You see someone with a wristband, you know, okay, that's Black Dog. Hey, I have a friend that's, I don't know, suicidal or whatever, or I don't know what to do about the situation. They've said something, I'm worried. That might be a person I can talk to, even if they're a complete stranger. So
it's for other people, for people to connect through
Yeah.
that thing. So if you see it, you can open up to that person potentially.
Yeah.
Blah, blah.
exactly.
Exactly.
Okay.
So, like, I'm wearing that wristband all the time. I'm luckily myself, I don't suffer from depression, but if someone sees that, they can always say, oh, I know that this person is aware of the fact that it is a disease. He knows things about it. I can talk to that person openly. And we're getting like really, we really feel that we've touched a point there, because it is so many people tell us their stories and say it's so important for them, and it's also a very important thing in our community and scene, because a lot of people who have mental issues find relief in the music, and that comforts people. Like, probably, I mean, music is probably powerful to everyone who is on this stream now, because that's why that's what connects us all. And but it's also with mental issues that music is one of the most powerful things to cope with emotions, and so there's a very strong connection there, and yeah, that is probably our most successful project in terms of what people approach us for, and what people want to talk to us about, and why people join us, and what they. And we always, when people join, we ask if they want to support any of the projects, and that is definitely the number one project, because it just affects so many people. And
Yeah.
Anybody who has worked longer in the music business, and I mean, I've been doing this for about 40 years now, knows at least somebody that had to deal with depression or has actually passed because of depression. It's still a very like underrated illness because it actually kills. And one of the issues with that one is that it makes people also not go for help, because they think nobody wants to hear my problem. Nobody wants to like talk to me about this. This disease is so mean that it uses like its own angle to actually prevent people from getting help. And this idea to actually signal to people with the wristband,
Yeah.
here's somebody you can talk to. That's a good idea, because it lowers the threshold of actually somebody approaching somebody. As I said, we probably all lost somebody already to it. I guess you girls also had experiences with at least somebody suffering from it, or yeah.
I
So,
think
you know what I'm talking
to if I'm gonna be completely honest and here, which I'm obviously gonna be now, is that we've all had our own issues, and we are like dying to be at a place where we feel that we can start sharing that part of our story, because there's so much more to everything that we've been through, as well as prior to what we went through publicly, that's why we were very happy that our album can, for those that have heard it, and hopefully if you take the time and listen after being on part of this beer tasting, that we really try to make it so a lot of people can relate to the problem. So if you're going through something, you can listen to the album, and if you take the time to listen to the lyrics, there's a lot of things that anyone could relate to, and I know for a fact that we all care about this a lot. It's just a very it's kind of I feel like the music industry or anything when you're kind of like a public figure, it's kind of like you're being careful about how much you actually share about your private life and not. And at the same time, it's like you want people to know, so potentially you could help someone out there. And that's like, I'm dying to get out. Like, I feel like since everything happened with Thunder Mother and everything, we've been super honest. We've been super clear. We just told our story as it is, as it happened. And we've done that thing. And it's been really amazing for us. But I don't know. I'm just like, I'm really tired of not sharing everything, you know? It's like, but at the same time, you have to be a public figure, and I don't know, it's so tricky, everything, but we definitely want to stand by that because we know exactly. We were 2022, before we went on the Scorpions tour, we were basically all of us this close of like hitting the wall like 100%. So we definitely know about hard times with mental health and stuff like that. We're just waiting. Now we're in like a smaller group, a private type thing, but I think we're all waiting for the perfect timing for us to start talking about it more and maybe trying to help other people and stuff like that, because we definitely know of the struggles of that.
Mhm.
Yeah.
There have already been some bands that have been quite open about it. There's Crippled Black Phoenix. They even have a song called Black Dog. Then there's Icelandic band Solstafir, where Adi, the singer, also like has elaborated a lot on that topic, also live on stage. And it's something that has been with the music scene. I mean, there's a reason artists go out with this kind of feeling and with this kind of emotion and put it in their
And
music.
the last tasting you've been in was Soulbound, which was also very much about that.
So it is a topic that has been with artists and art and musicians and bands a lot. So I think it is important that we tackle that as Metality, because I mean, one point of the metal scene is that apart from being most peaceful, because when you look at the numbers of incidents, for example, at Wacken, where in all the last years there have been 100,000 people and 8 incidents, and most of 2 of them or 3 of them will be gone in future because that concerned little amounts of cannabis, and that no longer is a crime in Germany, luckily. So that will go out of the statistics. So I expect numbers to even drop. But 100,000 people for nearly a full week and only 8 incidents, that's nothing in every little village and every village discotheque at a weekend. There are more things happening than in the metal community. So the metal community is also exactly the one where if you have an issue with that and if you feel depressed, that you will find people that listen to you and that care about you. And because you're a brother, a sister, you're one of us, and you can and will find help. And I think we need to communicate that. Yeah.
Yeah, I just think sometimes, like, especially we come from Thunder Mother, where we really try to put out an image of like positivity, rock and roll, fun, blah 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 blah, and all these things are true, but at the same time, we were never allowed to have or show off any like true emotions. Like it was very limited to what we could show, and it just became very, very draining. So I think that's also one of the reasons, am I right, girls, that we now in the gems are being more just honest about how we feel about things and what's actually happening. And yeah, we happen to be really good friends, so we actually have a really good time together, but we also deal with a lot of things like any human, any person out there.
But I mean,
yeah.
at the end of the day, as you just said, right? I mean, and that's probably the kind of like the beauty of it, right? That maybe in this new formation, there's the potential for you guys to like speak your truth more to that extent, and then that I would assume is something that reflects, as you said, in the lyrics, in the music, and the artistry. So I'm sure this is something that, because this is always something like music and artists, it always like connects on like a visceral level, right? It's not something maybe that we really process like intellectually too much. So I'm sure this is something that's going to resonate with people. If you guys say that you're in a position now that, you know, you can, through the music, you can communicate that, I'm sure that's something that's going to resonate with people. So
And like the guy who invented is this wristband is one of our members who is suffering himself from depression, and he had that idea to show that, like, because he's showing that he's a metalhead all the time because he has those wristbands from all the festivals, but then he thought that he wanted to do something similar with that depression issue, and he has been talking to other people about it a lot, very openly, and he has found so many people for whom it was a great relief that they found someone to talk to. And he wanted to create a way to recognize if you have someone in front of you that you can talk to about that openly. And that's how that wristband came into being. And yeah, it was probably
really
some
nice.
moment of genius from by our friend Rudy.
It's nice.
It's
It's
amazing.
important
Right.
to know that you're not alone.
Yeah.
And I must say that the metal community is the best. I had no friends in school. I was so bullied. I went to a high class school in the finer parts of the city, and the only thing that mattered back then was having expensive clothes, and I didn't. And I was even beaten up by like rich girls. Can you imagine? And I had no friends. I was alone all the time. But metal for me, and finding people who were into alternative music and dyed their hair blue. I found friends in the metal community. Like I had 2 friends in high school, and we listened to metal. We listened to Pantera, to Led Zeppelin. They had weird haircuts and hairstyles and blue hair, and we were all bullied, but we had such a nice time together. And we listened to all of this metal music and went like discovering this whole new world. And I went to Wacken when I was 18 the first time, and that was really the relief in my young in my childhood and my in my young teens. So music and metal and the community, and because people are so nice in the metal community.
Family but louder is one of our slogans.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or as suicidal tendencies put it, I don't care about the clothes you wear. It's the size of your heart, and not the length of your hair. Bingo. So, but sorry to interrupt, because this was an important conversation, but we also need to drink beer, because that's another of the reasons we have assembled here. So Julia will let us know how we unclench our jaws from the attack of sourness.
But just one little update before that: 333 euros and 33 cents is the current highest bid.
Nice.
Do you want to
I mean, this thing will be worth
spice it up?
330,000
We should spice it up.
euros.
Spice it up, Mona.
Spice it up.
Don't you know? Spice it up. Oh, it's a completely different song.
I want to get rid of some my old personal Thundermother stuff. I just need to unblur this. So it's my personal Thundermother t-shirt.
Wow.
And we will. It's only
signed
signed. I signed it myself, but I can have it signed by Gernika and Emily too, of course. But it's signed by me right now. It's gonna be signed by Gernika and Emily too. It's an
Very cool.
old patch in the Thundermother Nation. I don't want this, but maybe someone wants this.
I don't want it.
It's a
Bid high.
it's a VIP backstage pass from when we played at a festival in Finland. It's called Q-Stock. It's my personal backstage artist pass.
Lick it. No, I'm just kidding. Get some DNA.
Okay. Sorry, do you want this anyway, even though I licked it?
No,
Maybe
yeah.
no one wants it anymore.
11.5%.
Okay. And we have another backstage pass from Rock Hearts.
Oh,
Do you
wow.
guys know about this festival, Rock
I saw you at that show.
Oh, nice.
Oh, nice.
Very cool.
So it's my
So,
personal,
Florian, start bidding.
it's my
Yeah.
personal artist pass from when we played at Rock Hearts with Mother. So it's signed. I don't know if you want this signed by Ganik and Emily, we can fix that too. But
Yeah.
for now, it's signed by me only. And we have the gems pick. It's a necklace. It's a simple necklace made out of a pick.
Nice.
And
Wow.
we have this is my Rock Hard. It's my wristband, the VIP backstage wristband.
Oh, it is.
And we have we made this shitty backstage card for our own tour. We did this ourselves. It's just a laminate for a small tour we did. I think it was 4 shows here in Eckenförde, or yeah, Flensburg, Kielhaus, Neumünster, Nordheim, blah blah blah.
Blah, blah, blah.
And anyway, it's the and some pins, the gems, and the gems pins, and the Johansson Lindgren Trio. It's the best jazz band in the world. Johansson Lindgren Trio.
That's an exclusive one.
JL Trio.
Have you guys heard about their jazz band?
Nope.
No, it's gonna happen now. It's about to. It's happening.
And this very old signed autograph card. I think we had this when we.
That
when
was
we
the Black
sold
and Gold album.
the Black and Gold VIP bundle. I found this at home. So you
Wow.
Yes,
look at
and this is all being added to the drum skin.
yes.
Yes, so or should we
Wow.
do 2 different packages?
What
No,
do you
one-
think? What do you think? You can decide. You should
Just add it.
decide.
Just
we
add it to the
we add
package.
it.
Come on, 6, 6,
Let's-
6.
yeah.
666, the number of the beast.
New bid just dropped. We're at 345.67.
right.
Good.
We're on the way.
Yeah.
But Julia, now you have to really explain to us because, like, I still have the sour taste on my tongue. So what's up next?
Okay, let's go for the Senatsbock, which is Doppelbock.
Uh-oh.
It has only 9% alcohol.
Only.
A mere 9%. Who could
one?
possibly
We're
say
going
no?
down at least. Yeah, that's the one.
What could go wrong?
So the Natsbock is a very old tradition from the 50s, 1950s in Hamburg. Breweries came together and brewed this special beer every year in January. And when we founded the brewery in 2012, there were only a few small breweries in Hamburg, and we thought it's nice to bring back the old tradition, shoulder to shoulder, because when you look in the beer industry, they're very competitive. And we decided to go another way and work together to bring the beer variety back to Germany. And this is what we do in Germany. I think it's the 10th year next January that we are bringing up a beer that we all brew with the same 5 malt, but we all bring a special twist into it. We also already brewed it with cinnamon. We brewed it with cherries. And this time we thought we give it a special twist with the yeast. And we put in the yeast that really eats everything up. So maybe you can try tasted that it's very, very dry.
Extra Brut Edition.
Yeah, right. And I just saw the Natsbock glass. I think it was Chapter Rupert, right? Yeah, there it is.
Of
So it's a
course you
very
would have
big event, and it's nice because there are a lot of people doing the dry January. And then at the end of January, we have this special event with 600 people coming to Hamburg and celebrating the Senatsbock with us.
So it's not the dry January, it's actually now the quite wet May. So skull, cheers. Saúde.
Cheers.
Cheers.
We should go to Hamburg to go and try at that event.
Oh, you're more than welcome. Maybe you can play that.
Yeah. I mean, we could do acoustic if we don't bring a bass player. Mona and Emily can play everything.
Okay, perfect.
Not everything, but at least we can play guitar and bass.
I think there's something growing up now, literally. So like Julia and the band need to be in contact after this.
Oh,
Yes.
definitely.
Definitely, yeah.
I
And,
haven't forgotten
Julia, of course,
the non-alcoholic beer for the backstage.
Yeah, we will promote the shit out of the coconuts.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
Promote the
shall for sure join. So anyways, give us your thoughts. Let's start with Mona. You have been very talkative today.
It tastes like a fruity cup of coffee. I think. Sorry, I'm getting a bit tipsy here, but it tastes like coffee, Americana, and I can feel some fruit. What is it? Is it like you said cherry? Is it cherry?
Oh no, there's no chat. No, the
but
last
it's
time I think it's 2020 or so. We actually put cherry in, but here
Yeah.
the taste comes from the malt.
Yeah, but it's something fruity. I can't figure out what it is, but
But there's no
It's
fruit
liquid.
in it. It's just from the malt and the yeast, actually. Yeah.
The
Yeah, but
yeast
it has
gives me
a-
some licorice
has a s-
taste.
some sweet and sourness. Like if you would mix coffee with some fruit. I don't know. Do you also
but you
get
can-
coffee?
You can
Coffee
also
for
get
sure.
coffee with the fruity taste, right?
Yeah, that's exactly what I mean. Yeah. What do you think? Is it coffee? Do
Well,
you
there's
feel?
no coffee in, but you can get
Yeah,
the
but
taste
do
of coffee
do
with
you
the
get
malt.
the? Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly. That was what I meant.
Yeah,
Taste.
yeah, definitely.
Yeah,
Janica.
it was good.
I think I like it. I mean, this is much more my taste than the sour one. But yeah, I don't know if it's the alcohol or just my not having any knowledge or my taste buds being fucked up, but I just think it tastes good, and it has like it's like a nice coffee latte vibey. It's like thick and nice and fresh. Yeah.
Strong as hell.
Yeah.
I got a little scared when I poured it because I'm not at all a big fan of dark beers, but this is really like smooth and nice, and I taste chocolate as well, like hot chocolate vibe, but cold. But it's really just smooth and rich in a really good way. So this is a dark beer that I like.
Well said, Emily. I agree. Everything Emily just said, I agree.
Max.
Yeah, same here. So despite what what Julia just said, I also get chocolate and cherry. Those were like my first two impressions. When I opened it up and I smelled it, I was like, oh God, I'm like kind of like way too drunk already for this level of like strength. But it tastes really nice. It's very rich. Chocolate and cherry is definitely something that I also get. And like possibly coffee because of the bitterness, right? But I like it. But at this point, I'm like already kind of, because you guys all had the alcohol-free beer in between. I didn't, so I'm gonna shut up now, is what I'm saying.
Mr. Metality, Florian.
Yeah, I think it's a very malty beer. To me, it tastes a bit like it is like Emily said, she doesn't like dark beers, and it doesn't taste like a dark one to her. But I think it tastes quite dark. It tastes to me like porter stout kind of thing, and I was surprised that it's actually that dark when pouring a bock beer. And yeah, but I quite like it, and yeah, it's definitely what the first beer that is dominated by malts today, and not by hops.
Well, it's a bock beer. Einbeck's beer in turned to bock. And I would just add something that nobody has mentioned yet, and maybe I'm totally off, but I seem to taste some Finnish licorice in this, like the Finnish way of doing licorice. Maybe it's just me, but yeah, nicely malty, a little bit fruity, and yeah, a hint of chocolate I can also get. And I understand why people say cherry, although I don't really taste cherry, but like I get the idea. All right, Julia, anything else to add? What we missed?
It's sweet.
Malty sweetness.
Yeah.
Also, can I just maybe you guys could explain the malt and the hoppy and whatever, all those stuff that's very technical beer stuff, because I don't
Okay.
remember which one is what.
Julia, explain what went into this beer.
Oh,
Please.
yeah, it's interesting because you have like you have the yeast, you have the hops, and you have the malt, which can be you can get the character of the beer out of it. And here, of course, it's the malt. It's not the hops. And you have like a big variety of malt, and you can decide if you. I mean, we brewed a beer that tastes like schinken. What's a
Ham.
Yeah.
Yeah.
like ham? Yeah.
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 We're
So,
talking about like ham.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because you when
It
you,
was like
you
smoky.
yeah, they roast the malt, and then you can get the taste into it, and that's the same with hops. We used to brew a single hop beer, and you can decide if you want to have the beer taste like strawberries or like mango, and this is then you
Okay,
can see there are, I think, 250 different hops that you can choose from.
so the basics that go into a German beer, or should go into a German beer if it's brewed under purity law.
Oh, okay, yeah,
water,
it's
of course,
hops,
hops,
of course, one. Yeah.
and malt that is actually a grain. It's barley, and when you roast or toast it, then it becomes malt. So it's a roasted grain. You can make coffee out of roasted grain too. It's not coffee from the coffee fruit, but it's like some Ersatzkaffee.
Well, yeah, it's not only roasted. It's like they blend it. I mean, there's a way that they that the mold or that the grain thinks that it will grow, and then they stop the growing, and that's actually the mold process. Sorry, it's difficult.
You first water it, then it happens like what you say. It starts to like I want to, but then you roast it, so you're kind of killing it while it's growing. Very black or death metal.
Yeah.
So it's very metal in the process, and then you actually, when you fire it up, it develops all these sweetish and complex aromas. So you can burn it. Sorry, it's the black metal guy in me. You can burn it, and then it becomes malt. So it's a process. If you ever go to Dublin, like go to the Guinness Brewery, St. James Gate, and make the guided tour, because they explain all of it quite beautifully, and you get a nice pint of Guinness, and you see the Dublin Mountains in the background. So
Nice.
if you go to Dublin, visit St. James Gate Brewery, very recommendable. Then you know all about beer. Like
I've never been. We need to go there. We never even played in Dublin yet.
Malt is
can
it's a grand place. You should definitely go.
If I can just interject here real
anyway,
quick.
so I
we
mean,
were
these
at-
are the basic ingredients for beer, and then you can do other things with it. And if you're not from Germany, because if you are from Germany, you're not supposed to. But the thing is,
But if you're from Hamburg, you're allowed apparently, and you can put salt in it and cocoa and all of that.
to explain that,
Right,
because for
Nicola,
foreigners it might be
seawater.
very strange. While German breweries are not basically allowed, especially if you're from Bavaria, not basically allowed to change the list of ingredients and add something, thanks to the EU, anything that is around us, like Belgium, Netherlands, whatever, and is brewing beer, is allowed to export the beer to Germany nowadays and call it beer, despite it doesn't follow German purity laws. So
We can brew against the purity law. Sorry, we can brew against the purity law and then export it into another country.
Mm.
That's also
What is the?
And we actually had one. We had one
Germany.
tasting with someone who lived close to the Belgian border and brewed her beers in Belgium, because she was allowed to do it there and import it, and could do everything. She lived in Germany, but she brewed in Belgium because it was easier to do whatever she wanted there.
Yeah, but to be honest, we never had a problem in Hamburg. So it's always a hassle because you always have to write to the authority and then you have to pay money for it. And you're never sure because they can always take it back and say you're not allowed to brew it any longer. But for now, I must say they're really quick and it's not a problem in Hamburg to brew with other ingredients.
Nice. Julia, what's the weirdest beer you've tasted, or the weirdest beer you brewed? Like weird ingredients.
Because I think I was on a beer festival and they had like a pizza beer, and I'm out. But like typical pizza ingredients in it, or I don't know, like
oregano, tomato.
Oh yeah, what's the name?
Cheese.
Yeah.
Pineapple, and now I'm being shot by all the Italians. Like to do it.
Hawaiian pizza beer.
Okay.
Banana curry.
Talking about weird things, the question that we have constantly been asked on the forums is what usually, like, beer is a natural product, so sometimes thing goes wrong. What was the biggest disaster you ever brewed?
Well, it's interesting because we also do like barrel aging. And this is a very interesting process because we had some barrels and we tasted every now and then. And this was just like, okay, this goes right into the sink. This is not good. But then we left it there. And after a year, it was just like the best and interesting beer. So you never know if with the barrel aging, you can't really say this is wrong and you have to, just throw it out. But totally wrong, I must say, I'm working with really good brewers. And totally wrong, I can't remember that something went totally wrong. I'm sorry. Let me think about it.
It could have happened. It happened to a lot of the people who actually like started from scratch and not with like being already full brewers and kind of self-taught. So yeah, that might be an advantage of Kehrwieder that you've always worked with professionals.
Yeah.
We're actually at 404 euros and 4 cents now.
Yay!
Oh my goodness.
Not bad, but still not where we want to go.
No.
Or maybe we
maybe
we can add a non-alcoholic beer package on it.
Ooh.
Let's go.
This
Hell
beer will be
yeah.
sold out pretty soon.
But are you guys, Julia, are you in Hamburg?
Yeah.
We need to go and visit you guys.
Oh yeah.
We're coming.
Are you playing in Hamburg?
10th of October.
Oh, okay. I write that down.
But Gunnar, do you know if that venue is okay?
Down.
Gunnar, do you know if that venue is okay?
Head crash?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's not the biggest, but it's not the worst.
That's fine.
It's okay.
We want to sell out. That's the goal.
Yeah, I think you can make it happen. What's the capacity? Like 300 or something? 350?
Yeah, something.
I think
Not
we
the biggest.
350.
Yeah, that's.
We've never heard of that venue before.
Oh no, it has existed for quite a while. It's like an established.
Yeah, it's well situated too. Is like the positioning is good. The location is good. So
Close to Reeperbahn, if I remember correctly.
Yeah.
And very nice guys running it, I have to say.
Nice. Yeah, we told our booking agent that we didn't want to play in Logo because The bathroom. There's no bathroom in the backstage.
Wow.
Did you guys know this?
No.
Actually,
No, you
no.
have to like run, especially if you get nervous, like whatever, you know, too much
Like
information.
who?
If you have to go to the bathroom before a show, it's quite impossible when you have to run, like it's outside. And then they get really mad. You can't use the one that the people that work there have.
No, I think Head Crash is slightly less punk than Logo.
Yeah. The logo
Yeah, for
is
sure.
very special.
Yeah.
Special punk.
That just
Well, talking about catastrophes, what's
Yeah.
the worst thing that ever happened to you on tour? Like, not the worst thing as in the worst thing, but as in the most strange thing that ever happened to you on tour.
I mean, we had like one festival we played. I don't remember where actually, but when we arrived, like the staff was drunk and they
No teeth, right?
had no teeth, couldn't speak English. So we were supposed to do like a line check before our show. I guess we had line, and this was with Thunder Mother, and I think our line check took like an hour. Like we were so late because nothing worked, and
they couldn't understand because no one spoke English. No one.
Can I just add one thing?
Yeah.
We were about to get burned out. This was that summer. So we
Yeah.
were also very sensitive and had no tolerance, and everything was chaos. Emily, continue.
Yeah, and then we heard like, I mean, it was a fun show, of course. It's always like so much love in the audience, and we
Didn't I cry?
made a
Or
show.
was that not it?
You probably
You
cried.
cried. You cried 2 seconds after you went off stage. You started crying.
Yeah.
Because they had no monitors. You know, the things that the musicians on stage have to hear themselves. They just turned a part of the PA inwards towards the stage instead. So we had feedback, multiple tones feedbacking on the stage, like really, really high. And Guernica, you couldn't move because if you moved 10 centimeters, you would get feedback because they couldn't get the wireless to work.
Oh my god.
They couldn't get the wireless to work because they didn't speak English. We couldn't communicate. And so Guernica stood still the whole show, like in the middle, like, ah. And then you went off stage, and 2 seconds after you went off stage, you started crying. Really, like you couldn't stop it.
No.
It was tough.
Then
It was
Emily, continue.
Yeah, but we heard then because we went to the hotel later, and apparently when the festival ended, all the crew went to party like immediately. So they just turned everything off, like the lights and everything. So our crew had to pack our things in complete darkness. And there was
With the
no one
flashlights.
there to call or get any help from. So, I mean, that was kind of a disaster in many ways. But we have more of them. We have what
We
else?
heard that the crew was so hungover the day after, so they started the festival 4 hours late. So friends of ours, another band, they were supposed to play at like 11 in the evening, and they had to start playing at 4 in the night. You know, it was
Horrible.
so delayed.
Yeah.
Emily, you have
Country
good
mostly.
you have good memory.
Yeah, but I'm just thinking about funny things that always happens. Like if there's something to fall over on stage, Guernica does it. Like if there's a hole, we had a hole in the stage once, and of course Guernica like fell into that.
Yeah,
and
like, don't go in this hole, like mind this hole. Guernica like directly.
yeah, and
I'm clumsy, yeah. I'm clumsy.
and we had like one time in Spain, there was like a small stage with a stairway down to the floor, like in the middle of the stage, and Guernica fell down. It was fun. I mean, because as a drummer, I just sit there and I just see everything that happens. Basically, like I can't do anything. I can't help them. I just have to keep on playing. So what I can do is just watch it happen and laugh when I see that everybody's okay. And I really love the story also when Mona were running through the stage, and both Gernicke and Filippa were standing on her cable. So she just like
I fly back in the air. I lifted from the ground and just were pushed back by the cable.
yeah.
What about when we were in America and we had the shittiest tour bus in the whole that you could ever find in the whole America? We had that bus, and that the generator on that bus, it broke down every single day. So we were in southern, and it was extremely hot, and the generator we had to put the door open to just get some air to the generator because it was overheating every day. So it was so fucking warm in the bus when that generator, you could just hear the sound because we had this constant sound of the generator, like whoa 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 whoa, and then every day you heard this whoa 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 whoa, and it went quiet, and like, oh, the generator broke down
Tell
again.
them about the senior citizens in Mississippi.
Oh yes,
Those guys.
that was. This is gonna be. This is not our opinions at all. This is. I'm gonna just explain what these people said. Okay, so we were in Mississippi at a Holiday Inn at the beach. So it was a big hotel complex. It was like buildings, and it had a pool in the middle. So it was a big hotel complex, and it was some kind of a sailing community that had rented the whole place, and they threw a party there. Had a barbecue party, like a lot of like old people hanging out in the pool the whole day without leaving the pool.
Probably peeing in the pool.
Peeing in the pool the whole day.
As one does.
Yeah.
Americans pee in the pool. It's so weird. We figured it out in America. They pee in the pool.
And they were nice. They were like, oh, you can join our party. Have some barbecue. We're having barbecue over there. Have some, join us.
Have a pee.
Have a pee in the pool. And they told some of these people told me and Gernicke, like, oh, we had such a nice theme the last year when we had this party. We had a theme party, and we played Mexicans and border police. So half of us were dressed up as border police, and the rest were dressed up like Mexicans. And then the border police, they threw out the Mexicans during the party. It was so much fun. Like when we were like, what the hell?
When in Mississippi.
Yeah. I mean, in all these kinds of situations we are in, out of that, GL Trio was born. The one of the pins that Mona showed earlier, like, we have like a parody jazz band. Me and Mona, and Gernicke is the manager, Christer, and you can see them in our video for the song Psycho. We actually, when we have too much anxiety on tour, we just dress up as old jazz men, and we play like it's a game kind of, and it's just such a nice relief to just like put what do you call it, like ventilate, all the anxiety through those old dudes. A lot of side projects are born in these kind of chaotic situations. And we always try to laugh in those situations. When it gets too tough, we laugh instead, because it's just better way to handle it.
Can't do much, especially now when you're like stuck in a pool with senior citizens.
A pool that's like 70% pee. Probably.
But the funny thing is, like, I left the pool so many times to pee, and then I learned that evening, like, they
never leave the
pool. Like, oh my god, like, Do you guys pee in the pool? Nobody pees in the pool.
I think we should probably head for the last beer before we answer that question.
Okay.
Yeah, also that Max wants to distract from the fact that when you asked, does anybody know this jazz band? He was the only one nodding like yes. Well done, Max. But Julia, what's the last beer that we are going to drink? So final ride of the day.
Okay, this is the Cayman Imperial Coconut Porter. And this is, to be honest, kind of an accident because this beer wasn't brewed to be a coconut porter. This was supposed to go into barrels. Because as I mentioned earlier, we have like a barrel aging program. And normally we use like rum or whiskey or old wine barrels and leave the beer in there for a couple of, at least 9 months, but sometimes even 3 years. We had the opportunity to get very nice maple syrup barrels from Canada, but they didn't arrive in time, so we had to do something with the beer. We thought, okay, why don't we make like a chocolate bar with coconut in a liquid way? And this is the Cayman Coconut Porter.
So everybody filled it in.
Cheers.
Cheers. Prost. So,
Cheers.
Oh,
I feel like it tastes like coconut.
Oh yeah.
Oh, there's a lot of coconut in it.
yeah.
I thought it's a nice dessert to finish the tasting.
Tastes like the chocolate bar Bounty.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I'm not
That
supposed
is
to say the
exactly-
name, but
Oh, you're not
thank you.
supposed.
Yeah.
Okay.
That
Tastes
is-
like a famous chocolate coconut
It tastes
bar.
like
That was
coconut. It's
exactly the first thing I thought. It was like, this is exactly the same thing.
Wow.
Drinking the chocolate bar, right?
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah. Wow. This was really good.
This is for Emily.
Yeah.
Do you remember the first tour? We put the bounty bars in our bras and stuff.
Yeah. Keep them later. And then they
With a
melt
little
the gum.
9.5% alcohol beer can do.
Amazing.
Mm.
This is my favorite. I can say it now. Like I really like this one.
Thank
Doesn't
you.
really taste like beer though, but
And it's
Really
Yeah,
dangerous
this is
for
far.
you.
This is far out for sure.
It
really
tastes
nice.
like party.
yeah,
It's like a party.
party in
Yeah.
my
What
mouth.
does the Pina Colada expert Mona have to say about this one?
Yeah, I can't feel any like pineapple hints here, but definitely coconut. Do you guys also feel like can you get the coconut? Do you taste the coconut in it?
Are you?
Just kidding.
Well, you should taste the coconut because it was
Yeah, I
brewed
know.
with
I'm just
coconut flakes.
I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. This is like this is easy to. I'm really bad at like pointing out different notes and stuff like
Right.
that. So I was just kidding. But I really like this. It's but I feel it's a hint of coffee here too. Coffee and chocolate and the coconut and it's fun. It's sweet. It has a rich taste, which I
Just
like.
party in your mouth.
A party in my mouth.
Party
now.
in your mouth.
There's hops in this.
Well, it has to be.
I
call
didn't
it
expect
beer.
any hops from the taste. Just like,
It's very
there's-
sweet.
it's
It's
sweet
only-
all the way.
Yeah.
It's very sweet.
Just to interject real quick, we're at 466.66. So we're closing in. We're closing in, but people. I need
Girls,
you
We're
to.
not going. We're never going overtime, so we're totally still on time because I say so.
Let's throw
So,
in a t-shirt.
Yeah, let's
There's-
throw in a Gems t-shirt.
Yeah.
What is this?
Oh,
This
so
one.
guys, now there is the full X band package from Mona.
Now we're talking.
There is Emily's drum skin that everybody in the band has signed, and it will have your name, whoever wins this, on it. It's going to be worth like 66,000 euros pretty soon, so you better go now. It's an investment. And it also has the Gems, which is the band that will get that big, t-shirt in it.
Yeah.
And drum
So
tape.
bidding is still open, and we're only at, I mean, this is a catch, like this is an easy price. We're only at how much? Where are we at right now?
466.66. This is like, come on, people. This is
It's
beginner level stuff right here. We need to add
deductible.
exactly 200 tax deductible, right? So the
It's
higher it
That's
gets,
good.
the bigger your deductible, right? Talking
Yeah.
to all the Germans in the
Yeah.
audience right now, who are a lot, I
The
assume.
more money you spend, the more you can say.
Right? Be smart.
And, and I mean, it's the jams. The album is called Phoenix,
I have it here.
which you should all check out after this right there and then. And oh yes, please show it to us. So everybody look at Gernika right now because she is showing the album.
The
looks so
backside.
Crazy girls, look how
Three
Look at how crazy.
The band formerly known as Thunder Mother, now the Jams.
Exactly, formerly known as Thundermouth. I love that. Yeah. No, the funny thing is like when we played in Skåne, well, the little thing the 2 shows that we did in the south of Sweden a few weeks ago. After the show, because I don't know, it's like weird how to explain to people where we were and blah blah blah. And my friend was listening to this, and she lives in the south, and I was like, "Yeah, we used to play," and she was like, "Gernika, no, you used to be. You were Thunder Mother." And then after that, I was kind of like, yeah, I shouldn't be ashamed of that. I was Thunder Mother, and now I'm not anymore, obviously. But we together, all of us, were Thunder Mother. And yeah, so it's all about how you talk about yourself as well, because we didn't, we didn't used to be part of it. We used to be it, and now we're no longer that, and we are something else. But yeah, you have to be mindful of how you speak about the things that you do and blah blah blah. Yeah.
Yeah, and on your Gems shows, you have been playing some of the Thunder Mother songs that you that you also wrote, and that's something that would be interesting to me if you continue to do so, if you trying to delete that part of your history completely when you have more Gem songs, or whether those songs will keep part of your existence and legacy, and yeah.
I feel it's a matter of like we've grown tired of some songs, because we feel like we have so much better songs now, actually. So probably when we write all the hit songs for our next album, we will probably don't want to play the Thunder Mother song. I don't know. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, I agree. I mean, I feel like it's part of our legacy, and it's been very important because, yeah, it was kind of like the rug was pulled under our feet, and we had to. It's been very important for us to be like, we were this, so we can get the people that like Thunder Mother as it was to join us on this new journey, because it's been kind of tricky to get everyone on board. So that's why we kind of need to do it. But at the same time, like especially with the Black and Gold album, we put our heart and soul in writing those songs, and we never really got to play them live. We only played a few of them live on the Scorpions tour in America, which, yeah, it was amazing and epic and everything, blah blah blah. But we love those songs. We are proud over the fact that we wrote those songs, and we want to show the people how they're supposed to sound, with the people that wrote the songs, that put their, efforts into writing those lyrics and stuff like that. So yeah, it's a tricky situation, because I do feel like we're the ones playing Thunder Mother songs the way that they should be sounding at the moment. But yeah, in the future, I hope that we have really amazing songs that are the Gem songs, that if we ever pick up a Thunder Mother song, it's just because we want to like add a little sparkle for a special fan in the audience or whatever. But yeah, I'm ready to
Emily
put them in the,
Yeah, we also talked about like maybe doing a little medley thing, with some of the biggest hits, like for one little part of the show, but we'll see.
Yeah.
Sorry, Mona, what were you saying?
No, I just said like Yannick and Emily you sat in all of these songwriting sessions and you worked your asses off to write these songs for Black and Gold, and you didn't get the chance to tour with them because things ended the way it ended, and that's why we played some of the songs. But maybe we will not care too much in the future about maybe. You never know. Like we write really good songs now together,
Yeah.
and I feel like the best song isn't written yet,
Exactly.
and we will write that song for the next album. So probably we will not care about
No.
the
That's the
old
dream.
songs. Yeah.
Basically,
Yeah,
it
I have to
means
say, Mona plays them live so well, and she's put her own spin to the songs. She's spiced up every solo. She's doing everything in a different, like, yeah, she's just spiced up every Thunder Mother song that we're playing. So it is kind of, it's more fun to play them now. Plus, you play the right, you play it right.
And I think for all of us, I mean, I think for all of us now playing the songs live in another like constellation where there are no like
Errors and
we're more like, let's say we're more creatively free. And when we recorded some of these songs, I mean, I at least felt kind of like okay, like what's the I don't know.
restrained.
Yeah, I
like
mean, I had to hold back myself as a drummer pretty much because it was a lot like this song needs to be just straight, don't do any weird
Feel rud, eller som så.
yeah, a lot of things like that. And now when we play them live, we're just free and happy to do, I mean, obviously we don't like ruin the songs, but just to do a little more, be a little more yourself on the songs as well.
But tell them the story about Ghost.
There's not really a story about that.
Okay, maybe not.
But Ghosts is a song on Heatwave, which I came with the idea, and I had a completely different groove on the song from start. But then in the studio, it turned out like it changed completely and became like this straight song. And I mean, I love like 4 on the floor straight beats and everything, but it was always a little struggle on how the songs were supposed to be played and blah blah blah. So we're more free now to actually have fun with these songs, and that's really nice.
And that's why we now have groovy songs like "Send Me to the Wolves." That's a very groovy song. That would not be possible before.
Running, don't ask
or
for
running.
We like groovy stuff.
Yeah, you wanna.
We all know that like Emily looks harmless, but
Move
the
your
truth is
ass.
she's a devilish mean drummer.
Yeah.
So
Yes.
now it all can come out.
And
also, like,
the only drummer with a guitar in the background that we ever had in the Metality beer tasting.
Yeah, I guess.
and we
I
all
mean,
know that Gernika, when you see her live, actually has something that white girls usually don't have. She has soul in her voice to go on with the rock.
Yeah, she has.
Thank you.
Indeed. And I mean,
I
if you
have
listen to
one
the
part
Jenks
like here.
album-
No, just kidding.
Yeah,
if you listen to the Jenks
true.
album, it's all coming out now, so you can actually hear the things that should have been there, because whenever you saw them live, it was already there, and now it's also on record. So check out Phoenix. It's very important to do that. And
What band is that again?
The
while we're at it, and now the Gems. As we are kind of closing in, and we never go overtime anyway.
Yeah,
But
I have one
just like to
question.
mention, last chance to bid, because we're coming closer to the close.
Come on.
So remember, you get the drum skin, you get the full package of Muna, which has all, like, her personal t-shirt, passes, everything in it. It's a huge box filled with goodies. And Gernika and Emily will probably sign the stuff too if you want to. And there's the 2 added drumsticks. And well, the girls will send you lots of love if you actually buy this drum skin, plus all the extras right now. But like, we kind of shortchanged the beer a little bit because we got sidetracked.
Oh, sorry.
So we should also talk a little bit more about this beer. We all agree the coconut is there. As Mona pointed out, like, does anybody not taste it? If anybody doesn't taste coconut, well, I can't help you. Then it's sorry, like, maybe not join a tasting, but well, anyway, join the tasting, even if you don't taste coconut. I'm fine with it. Florian, your final words on this evening. You wanted to add something, and have there been questions by the audience that we should pose to the band and the brewer?
Well, are you asking about the beer or about the questions now?
Well, first give me something about the beer, then ask the questions.
Well, I can say that beer is far too sweet for me. I'm one of the people who don't like sweet stuff at all. I can't drink Coke at all. I just don't like sweet stuff, and that is far too sweet for me. And so, this is not my.
This is a dessert, you know. This is a dessert.
Yes, I
beer.
know. Yeah, but I'm just not into desserts.
Florian, you spoil it all.
I'm not.
Always.
I'm not into desserts. I
not
love the
into
salty beer.
desserts?
I don't like the sweet one.
Who is not into desserts? And that means you don't like the jams, really? Because, like, you know.
I love the jams. Absolutely.
Okay, good. All right. Just wanted to hear the right thing here. Okay. So, anyways, are there any questions that we should pose?
Of course. And there's one question that I have personally. Who are the queens that you're talking about in your song that paved the way for you?
A lot of queens.
A lot of queens.
We have
Short answer. There's a lot of queens.
Everyone.
Sorry.
Everyone that paved the way, like taking shit, and because they wanted to make it better for the next generation. So it's talking about music. All the runaways and the ladies before that, like the runaways have taken a lot of shit because they were females, and it's just one example. There are so many, but
I'm thinking like
everyone...
Tina Turner and Nina Simone and Madonna and what's the name of
Sister Rosetta Thorpe?
Exactly.
And sorry,
Sister Rosetta Thorpe.
Yeah. I said that. I mean, maybe I said it wrong, but all the women that tried to do what they wanted to do, but faced a huge challenge for doing what they loved, and they paved the way to make it better for the next generation to come there and do their thing, and having it a little bit easier than the generation before them. And it's not necessarily women, but everyone who paves the way for others, who's taken the shit and just continued and making the world a little bit more accepting and easy.
Can I add something to it?
Yeah.
Sure.
Is that we had all the rock legends in mind but it was more about like all women everywhere, and just like Mona said, it's all the people that have actually paved the way for us, because like I've heard people in conversations that I've been in, you know, being very like, some people might be offended here, but being like, I'm not a feminist, or I'm not this and I'm not this and and being very like, and just frustrating that there's a lot of people right now in this time in our timeline that are not aware of the fact that we have it as good as we have it, because there's so many people that actually worked really hard for us to get voting rights and be able to have our own credit cards, because that changed, and like, you know what I mean, like all these things that people just take for granted that just happened like 30, 40, 50 years ago, which is no time at all. And that's what that song is about.
Depends on the country.
Yeah, it's just like appreciating the people that were brave enough to pave the way for us so we can have what we have today. And then we want to continue being brave and being like, you know, we're pursuing a career in music, especially in rock. Like, we're doing this. We don't give a fuck what anyone says. We're doing this. So hopefully that can inspire some other people to go ahead and do that. And, you know, so that's what Queen's about.
Great.
Like,
Thank
in
you
case
for
nobody
explaining.
noticed, because that might be even a good thing if nobody noticed, all our guests today are feminine, female women. Just
What?
just saying, yeah. Well, as I said, like nobody probably noticed, and that's a good thing because like that didn't need pointing out. But in case you wanted to, the brewer scene I've heard before is also very male dominated. We did have, oh, hopefully I'm not getting it wrong. Was it Cluckingham?
Yeah.
Yes. That's
Yeah, thank you.
and that was the lady who brewed in Belgium.
Yeah, and excellent beers, I might add, like same as with Kehrwieder here. So yeah, it's not like in the olden days where, hopefully, where like you mentioned Sister Rosetta Tharpe, there was like Norma Tanega, like all these artists, like, and might be a harsh comparison, but same with black artists that had like all these troubles with people putting stones in their way. Female artists also have that had for a long time, and it's not over yet. It's not like that it's completely gone. We still have a way to go, but I think it has gotten better, at least since I've been in the scene. And yeah, today we have 4 female guests, and nobody actually mentions that as something special, and that is a good thing as far as I'm concerned. You're here, and that's it.
Up until now, that is, but definitely I think there's but I definitely think there's something to be said for representation that way. You know, as someone who like books like a tiny little festival, it's always this thing where I notice whenever we like, I try to keep it like, you know, get a 50-50 balance of like female and male artists on stage, and it's just something that reflects in the audience, and you could tell it's like you need role models, like, right? You need people to go like, okay, there's a person that looks like me, there's up on the stage, that means I can do that myself, right? Yeah. So I think that's a very like a commendable thing to do and like to work towards, and it just makes the whole thing more fun for everyone, right?
Yeah.
So
I think unfortunately there's not too many mixed bands yet. There's quite a few female bands yet. There's a lot of all male bands, and there's quite a few female fronted bands with male people on the instruments, but there's not that many people.
I think that's also like a development that also, it's like this is something that's also breaking up. I see this a lot in the underground. It's like it keeps getting more diverse, which is just something that's
good. It started with the singers, and then it got more, and that's a good thing. And like, just to give statistics, there's a statistics from the UK that nowadays, from the gender buying guitars, it's more women buying guitars than it's males buying guitars. I guess all the guys now went to keyboards. Anyways, but like, forget about keyboards at this point. But like, it's also a good thing, and it's great that it's happening, and it is happening, and walls are being broken down. And I was just at a Portuguese festival called Barroselas, and it was great, and it had a very high frequency, as also was pointed out by my Portuguese journalist colleagues, of women attending, like a lot of them from Spain, and they said it had gotten so much more in the last 5 years. So same as with the fans, it's like something everybody can do, and now it's like old bearded white men talking about women again, which is in the metal scene something quite useful. So let's get back to the girls. And 5 more minutes for bidding. So we do a countdown now. You have 5 more minutes, then we're closing this.
And I think we're still at 466 euros and 66.
People!
All right. Let's
at least reach 500.
Why
so
not do
469?
How about that?
Oh, nice.
5
wow. Thank you, Max.
So anyways, let's do
469.69, yeah.
So Florian, there were no more questions, or were there?
No, there are questions. We have a question to Julia, a rather technical one. How difficult is it to get a beer with to get the alcohol percentage right in a beer? For example, if you want to get a beer with 6.66% of alcohol, how hard is it to get there?
Well, I don't think you can, when you start brewing, you can't get exactly 6.66, but it depends on the word. So it depends on how many malt you put into the beer. I mean, I'm not a brewer, so I'm hoping I don't say anything wrong, but I've been there when they brewed the beer. So it depends on the amount of water and malt you're using. Because the yeast that in the fermentation process, it depends on how many food they have to eat in a way. And then you know how much alcohol you can get. And in the German law allows you to have like 1.5 percent of variation. So if it's 5%, you can put a 5.5% on your beer if you like the 5.5. Does that answer the question?
So the beers that say 5.6 or 5.4.
If you have 5.5 on the label and you have like a 6% beer, you're still fine.
Yeah. So people put something on, but it could be actually
You can
something
lie.
different.
Make a 6% plus beer and make it 6.6. Or am I wrong?
Now we
That's
actually
exactly how it's
we
done.
had a Metality beer in the last tasting. We had a big meeting at a brewery last October, and we did brew our own beer, and we wanted to have it 6.66% of alcohol.
Ah, okay.
And
How close did you get?
brewer told us we just got to get close to that, and then we can write it on the label.
Oh, okay. Yeah, so I wasn't wrong. I'm glad.
Yeah, exactly. That's completely confirming what the other guy said. Yeah.
Cool.
In
We
Sweden,
had
I think
it was the 666 beer. We had 6 malts, 6 hops, and 6.66% of alcohol.
Oh, nice.
Wow.
Okay. Yeah, we had for the 10th anniversary of the prototype, we had a 10%. We had the Proto 10 with 10% alcohol.
Wow.
Nice.
And how was that? And why didn't you repeat it?
It was really good, of course.
Too many people falling over. That's probably it.
Yeah.
Anyways, more questions, Florian.
Well, we have a question for you, Gunnar.
4
Hat
more
du da so
minutes.
große Hände oder ist das Glas so klein?
No, actually, since I'm taking it like cool with the beer, this is a quite small glass.
Mm.
The question is answered. I'm not having the full glass, so I'm not getting too drunk.
And the rest I have is not really questions, it's rather comments. It's greetings from Braustädtchen, who was the brewer in our last tasting and is also a Metality member. He's sending greetings to Julia and to the Gems, and yeah, enjoying it all along. We have some comments to the beers. Someone said the Goose beer is like salt and vinegar, which I quite like as a comment. and I quite like the salt and vinegar crisps. Yeah. And then there was also some comments about someone who saw Thunder Mother after you left and said that, yeah, it's just not the same. And yeah.
That's
I
nice to
could say
hear.
something mean at this point, which is listen to a certain solo album and then you know where the talent is. But I'm not saying that because that
Solo
would be
album.
mean.
What are you talking about, Gunnar?
Oh, I had a hearty laugh because, but we talk about that in the backstage.
Okay.
When oh Jesus! But yes, Christ, and like as I said, like the talent, there will be a reason why the Gems are going to be big, which I'm predicting right now. With all my experience as a music journalist, the Gems are going to be big. And 3 more minutes to bid.
I was gonna.
I know we have another
ask,
question to the Gems. How did you start making music?
We started right away, like before we went official with you know, the breakup from Thunder Mother and everything. Like the first thing we did, like after we had a talk with each other and like, okay, so what do you guys want to do? Do you want to start a new band? And we're just like, yes. we booked a signing session. Like we need to have songs.
Writing
need-
A
session.
writing session.
But sorry,
Writing session.
it's the
With
beers.
ourselves. Vad divor bara.
No, we booked a writing session. Sorry.
Sorry.
And we started to write songs like immediately. That was the first thing we did, and we enjoyed to write together and together with other songwriters. Like a lot of the songs on the album are written together with our producer Johan Landén, and yeah, that was our main focus on the spring, because we needed to get music out like sooner than later, just to show people that we were serious about this new band and that we, yeah.
And Mona played everything on the album.
Wow.
Everything,
all the
everything.
bass,
I played the drums. Excuse me.
I think, if I don't remember it wrong, I think you sang on the album, Veronica.
No, I didn't. You sang it.
Mona did
Mona
everything.
played the bass and the guitar. That's what I meant. That's what I meant.
2
And
more minutes, and Florian, any more questions?
Yeah, and I think you also got a deal with Napalm Records pretty soon, who were also the label for Thundermother and supported you right through the change.
No, we had the AFM.
AFM.
Oh, right. So that was the
AFM
thing.
were in such a hole after the Scorpions tour. I think they spent like 2 million.
Wow.
Yeah, like 200,000 euros.
Yeah, 2 million crowns. Yeah, sorry. Yeah, but they spent a lot of money on that tour, and it obviously.
But I mean, Napalm was interested in us, in Thundermother as well, and we ended up with AFM. But as soon as we, they heard about our new thing, they actually emailed us right away, like, whatever you guys are doing, we are interested. So that was a nice thing to start with. And then we also had like 2 other labels that were really interested. So we took advantage of that and, had them deal, to have the better offer for us. But I mean, Napalm was just the best label to go with, because they're big, and they have they have a big office in the US for many, many years, and they're really established, and we got really good vibes with them. So we're really happy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We want to go back to America, so it's nice to be on a label that has that on lock, they know what they're doing.
Also, kudos to the label to support a band that is new.
Yeah.
And to give it to you. I mean, that's not something that is for granted. It just shows that the label also knows where the talent lies, and I think that's a great thing.
And the person who asked the last question just rephrased it and said, how did you start making music when you were kids? Like not how did you start the Gems, but how did each of you get into making music?
I started to write like rap songs because there was a Swedish rap artist when we were like in our 10, 11 years old thingy age. He was really big and I was a big fan. So my first songs that I ever wrote was like for him. So I rapped about like, vad heter ragga?
Like getting girls and
who's the artist for the nerds?
So that's how you became a drummer.
Yeah. Yeah, long story short, yeah. No, but that artist's name is Markoolio. He's like super just Swedish, but maybe somebody have heard of him. I don't know.
I'm gonna look him up right now. Markoolio,
he's like Finnish descent, but he's like a famous I guess he does like rapping for children, or I don't know.
Yeah, it was popular, amongst children. Even though he had lyrics about like, I need to get a girl tonight, that type of vibe. But somehow he got famous among children. And then he changed his lyrics after a while to more nice thing.
Explaining something to the more German audience, there is a Swedish minority still in Finland. which was predominantly a Swedish-speaking country,
Yeah.
and then became Finnish-speaking again. But to the south of Finland, there's still a huge or large Swedish minority that speaks Swedish. So that explains that connection, I suppose.
Yeah.
On that note,
yes, we
shout
have
out-
1 more minute to bid.
Oh, go
Mona.
ahead. Sorry.
We're
Yeah.
actually, yeah, we're at 477.77.
Come on, people,
Wow.
get it up there. Six.
Just so little to get to 500. So like,
Okay, 500.
Super nice.
555.
Think about the children.
Yeah.
1 more minute
Yeah, I
to
mean,
get Mona's underwear. No, sorry, t-shirts.
What?
inappropriate.
I need to do a sex comment.
Now it became a very different auction. Wow. What?
Yeah, we were like so progressive just like 15 minutes ago, and all of a sudden now, when it's about the money, we go like,
Come
all
on,
right.
I'm old, I have a beard, I'm white. What do you expect?
We've been talking about how nice metal people are. And
Yeah,
we're just like,
Now you're not so nice anymore.
little guy.
You know, I got an offer on a tour.
Oh
to
yeah.
my what was it? Vad heter det? Strumpbyxor.
Your
I
stockings.
My
Right.
stockings that I wear
Long
on stage.
stockings.
Yeah. I mean, every here and there I get those offers. But my boyfriend was like, my sister was like, hell yes, sell that shit, because it was like a good offer. I mean, I think it was like 500 euros or something. I just throw them away anyways. But my boyfriend was like, it needs to be a life-changing sum because they're dirty, you know what I mean? So it needs to be like crazy amount. So yeah, I haven't sold anything yet.
Yeah, we're at that topic again, and I started
Yeah,
it, so
so I
take
just
full
shared
responsibility.
something.
I apologize at this point, and
Let's rather talk about how Mona and Genika.
well, we need to get back to Julia,
was that-
because
was
also
that
Julia
so
needs to have some
awkward?
famous last words in. So Julia,
No,
your take from this.
we're not at last words yet. We still have our voting. What was the best beer? And I think Shiran will put that on screen.
The hangman Shiran will put it on the screen.
And so everyone can.
Our past
But
is gonna
where
be
can you
hard to
vote?
package in a few minutes.
Has voting closed or is voting still on? And we're still on the last minute for more bids for the great package of the jams.
the great package.
The great package.
The
Emily
great
got a-
package.
I mean, it got bigger and bigger. It started with drums.
Oh yeah, for
That
sure.
was signed by all and signed with a name. And then Mona added her t-shirts and backstage passes and everything. Emily added 2 drumsticks, signature drumsticks that has her name on it. And you can get it signed. And if you want, you can also get them played. So you just have to specify, like, should she play it or not? And well, Gernika will also sign it. Emily will also sign it. So there you are.
Of course.
So, Florian, come on, give me the results.
Well,
Don't let me hang any. That last minute
there
is
we
still
have the
going.
voting now.
Ah, there it is.
Ah. Okay, I voted. Have we all voted?
I think I
Cast
put the
your
wrong. I
votes.
put the wrong beer. I'm sorry.
Ah,
I'm drunk.
Max.
I couldn't. I was. It was a split-second decision.
Oh,
Don't
oh,
blame the
vote
Dominica
now.
again.
No. It wasn't the Dominica.
Yeah, well, don't blame it again. Like,
No, I'm not. I mean, sure, I'm gonna blame it for sure. You bet.
so maybe you should get a smaller glass next time. But
Me.
well, for me,
I
it was,
admit now I'm
it's
drinking the
all good.
whole of the dessert beer because yeah, it's a dessert, so I deserve it.
I love the It's All Good. It was such a special beer. It's
Yeah.
something that I've never tasted this way. That's definitely.
I did vote for the alcohol-free as my favorite though, because that's outstandingly good. So there you are.
It is definitely a very, very good non-alcoholic beer.
And that's rare because most of them just taste
Very
like
true.
sugar water. So, has voting finished? Are we done? Can we get the result?
There we go.
Ah.
Prototype is the clear winner.
Oh,
I voted for Senatsbrock. Bock.
Senatsbok.
50%. Interesting. The fresh dream did not really appeal. I liked it. So
That's pretty clear results.
Absolutely.
But it's hard when you
Again,
can only vote for
about.
one.
I mean, we're it's Metality, right? It's about the shootability at the end of the day. So I think that's the
it's about
people's,
easy drinking, yes.
the people's
about
choice.
Complexity.
Yeah.
A 50% vote for the prototype.
And it wasn't even the 10% version.
Nope.
So here we go. So now,
I
famous
think
last words from
we can
Julia, or do you have
present
anything else?
the winner. And you can unmute yourself, Guido, chapter Bergisch Land.
Guido.
You did it!
Hi, Guido.
Yay!
Yay!
You're the winner at 477 euros and 77 cents.
But it was
Yeah.
not only
sure.
for me, but it was just for the underground, and you will see all the stuff on our meeting in some month in the underground.
To give a bit of an
Nice.
explanation, Underground is a location in Wuppertal, and Guido lives in Wuppertal, and that's where we'll have our annual general meeting of Metality this year. And apparently, some of that will show up on the wall decoration on this great underground metal club.
So now
yeah.
Guido only has to do some specifications, which is, does he want the passes also to be signed by the other members? That's one. Sollen die anderen Mitglieder das auch noch signieren?
We'll connect you by email after this show, and then you
And
can
should
work
Emily
all of
actually
that
play
out.
the drumsticks, or do you want them unplayed? That's the two things you have to think about.
And the size.
Plate looks better.
Okay.
Just
Then-
play them. It's all right.
I have a tattoo here with two like strick. I'm gonna put that same mark on these drumsticks, so you know it's the right ones. I'm gonna play with them and then send them to you.
Really great.
Great stuff.
So here we
So
go.
thank you very much, and
Thank you.
congratulations to Guido, and thank you for great tasting.
Thank you so much, everybody.
Thank you so much.
And now finally I get my word in, which is like give the final closing words also to Julia.
Okay, thank you very much. That was great fun, and I can't wait to meet the girls in Hamburg in October.
And from
Yay!
October, Head Crash. For anybody in Hamburg, and the other tour dates should be somewhere on our socials. Tour dates. I hope somebody did it. If not, I will be very cross. You don't want me cross, so do it. Put it on. Anyways, so now smiling again. Gernika, what's your final words?
What?
Famous
Final
last
words.
words.
What? When Emily is saying
Famous
something, is it from the band or
last
what?
words sounds like
Say
you
like-
guys are about to die, which I hope is not the case. So
No. Famous last words for the beer tasting.
From the band?
From
From
you.
From you.
From
Thank
me?
you, Emily.
Like,
Yes.
Who
did
is
you enjoy
Like, is that
this?
me?
Okay, we see you later. Let's start with Emily.
I'll
because
just
she
do it
gets-
like this. Okay, thank you, Metality.
Maybe I
They've been
can step
amazing.
in.
And
Go ahead.
I enjoyed this a lot. It was really nice and deep and amazing. So I hope we get to do this again, because we always have a good time doing this. Prost.
if I can just get in some famous last words, I want to say, because we had you guys on the second time as a new band, I want to go ahead and make a bet that you guys, as the Gems, are going to be the first band that we're going to have on as the same band twice in a Metality beer tasting. Because the Gems are here to
Love that.
stay.
Yes, we love
This
that.
was a great tasting. Thank you guys.
Thanks, Max. I did want to have the band to have a word at first, but okay. But that was good. So well
I
done.
blame the Dominica. All right, that's
greatest wingman ever. I'm so happy that Max is back. So thank you so much. And Emily, your famous last words to this beer.
It's been a pleasure. I've had so much fun, and I think I speak for all of us when I say that it's the thing that to give young people the opportunity to get a music education is something that is a passion of ours, because we're doing a lot of like clinics and other stuff for young people in Sweden to like inspire them to dare to learn an instrument and stuff like that. So it's a really good match for us to be a part of this charity tonight. So thank you.
Thank you. And of course, usually they say it's like a guitar wizard, but nah, it's not in this case. Guitar sorceress, Mona.
Thank you. Yeah, I couldn't agree more with Emily. It's very important. We wouldn't have been where we are today without music education, and I think that should be equal for all. It's just not something that rich like kids to rich parents can do. Like it should be available to everyone, because otherwise it's I don't want to live in that kind of society. So I totally support that, and I think it's really important, and it feels great to be part of that. And it's we had a really nice time tonight, and I hope that we can inspire, and that yeah, obviously we helped. Yeah, we have sold this thing, so you can. I don't know, where's the money going to? The
That is
package.
actually going to the next person who's gonna get that scholarship, and it's gonna
Yeah,
last
that's amazing. That
for,
feels amazing.
Yeah, about half a year of scholarship will be funded by this donation, and so we're very happy
And
about it.
that
Thank you
feels
very much.
amazing. So thank you for letting us be part of this.
And thank you, Julia, for the beers.
Yeah,
Oh,
thank
you're
you,
very
Julia.
welcome.
Yeah, thank you.
And
Yeah, the
and
beers were
maybe
amazing.
one piece of information, typically at this point in time or a little earlier, we announce the next brewery, and we have the next brewer introduce themselves. This time we don't, because we're going on a summer break. In the last couple of years, we noticed that when it's getting warmer, people prefer to spend their Saturday nights outside somewhere in the beer gardens, somewhere at clubs, at open air festivals. So we're taking a break until October. We're not announcing anything yet. We're still doing.
You'll be back with the gems. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah, so we'll have a new tasting coming up in October, and we'll let you know in time through our social channels which band, which drinks it's going to be. There's even a chance that it won't be beer. Let's see what it's happening. We're preparing something there.
I guess that was the famous last words from Metality, was it?
Probably.
That means I'm the last one to be able to say something right here. So first of all, tack så mycket. Girls, you have been great as always. And as I tell Florian right now, it cannot be on the 10th of October, because there I'll be watching the Jams, who are going to present the new album Phoenix in Hamburg on that date. So I'm going to watch it.
Yeah.
So like no date there, please. Dankeschön, Julia und Kehrwieder für die großartigen Biere. Thank you so much for your great beers. That has been a pleasure to have you all. Thank you so much to my wingman, Max, who has kind of disappeared right here. So I guess he's off somewhere, which is typically for that specific wingman. I'm not looking at somebody at the screen right now. Thank you so much for Metality, for hosting all of this, for making all of this happen, and so on, and Florian representative. And a big thank you to everybody in the backstage. That's the people that actually made it happen, that make the technical support. I can only quickly mention like Shiran the Hangman, and of course Jan, and I'm probably missing everybody right now who I should mention. So everybody I don't mention, I mention you as well, from straight from the heart. So thank you very much, and of course to everybody who attended this. Without you, this wouldn't be happening. So vielen Dank für alle, die hier sich eingeschaltet haben. Wir sehen uns beim nächsten Mal wieder. Jetzt gehen wir in die Sommerpause. Und hiermit sage ich, and now I say, this is the end of this one. Hangman, let the guillotine fall, and we're going into the backstage.